Welcome, everybody, to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I am your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area, we get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, well, I'm going to introduce her in just a moment. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio.
Howdy, Gooch. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Apparently a little hot.
I'm dripping here already, so it's already the start of a good
Trio
podcast.
Sweat,
I'm excited.
classic.
Yeah,
that's how you know it's going to be a good podcast.
Absolutely.
Trio's
I'm starting nice and gleaming. So let's get it going.
So let me introduce our guest. Honestly, if you've been listening to us long enough, you probably know who Emma is. But in the middle here, Emma McKelvey of House of Me, the craftsman, the artisan behind our podcast table, is on the podcast today. Emma, welcome.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Your kind words. That was quite a mighty intro.
Yeah, and it's, you know what's funny? I was thinking it's like, oh, we don't have to put Emma's stuff in the description because it's already there.
Absolutely, it's always
Oh my
there.
God,
Yeah, it's on everyone.
It's already there.
Of course,
You guys are the best.
We need to advertise for you. Are you kidding me? It's on everyone, and you kicked ass. It's like, who else could build a collapsible podcasting table? I don't think anyone.
I so appreciate it.
Yeah,
No
and you know
problem.
what's funny? Like real quickly, like that. It's funny that idea where like the podcast table came from. I know like people have like, you know, like actual tables that like you buy from like, you know, like a very expensive, not handmade table, like, you know, with like a TV on the front of it, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of podcasts do. I really have never seen a podcast with anything like this.
No.
This is one of a kind.
It's very one of a
You're
kind.
very
Yeah,
unique.
I've
Absolutely.
never
Cool.
seen it. And
I haven't either.
But the idea like that you came up with was the coolest part. Like that's what was really neat.
Well,
You're
thanks so
like,
much.
It was really-
semicircle,
it was your design.
collapsible.
Well, that's true. I mean, it took me 5 seconds.
You're like,
That's
that's
true.
true.
Yeah, I mean, no big deal. No, I honestly, I forgot I did it. I kind of put it together. Yeah, it is all me. I mean, you only put it together and made it, but it was 100% me.
No, it was.
I think the one thing that we just kind of like, we want the logo on the front. And
That
then,
was a
like,
big deal.
colors.
Yeah.
And the
But
gray
you
and everything.
designed like the initial look of it.
You sent the dimensions. You like really fully. planned
I
it out.
spent a lot of time on it, I swear.
Slave.
It wasn't only an
On
hour or anything
Post-it
like
notes.
that. Yeah.
No, but what was so funny when you first reached out to me about it, in my brain, because it was like DN and Delco
Yeah,
Network,
yeah.
obviously, and then I was also, should I sit closer?
you're good, you're good, you're good.
Also thinking Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they want a D&D and
That's
a
so
DN.
funny. I
And
didn't even think
so I was
about
like,
that.
how
That
do
works
I
so well.
put
that
this
now you say
together?
that.
And I was
I
like
forgot
trying
about
to
that.
design that was conducive for both podcasting
Yeah.
and playing the game. And I was like,
No,
you're
it's
like,
so-
no, it's just for the podcast. I was like, that's a little bit easier.
But we appreciate you thinking ahead and even
Yeah,
thinking for us
honestly.
on that because I wouldn't even thought about that. That's so
I've never
genius.
we've never used this table for anything else with a podcast.
No.
And I don't want to.
No,
It has
absolutely.
It
There's
serves
no.
its perfect purpose.
The
Right.
half moon is what we needed because we want to be able to like kind of face each other
Yeah.
but face the camera. So thank you again so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
It
thank
was-
you guys. I
really
so
did an amazing
appreciate
job.
it.
Yeah, and we're
Absolutely.
here to talk all about you. This
Yeah.
podcast is all
Don't
about you.
touch.
Absolutely.
I guess what? It's been a year and a half since we
Yes,
had
sir.
Matt Kelly on to
Yeah.
talk about, you know, like his music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like what this podcast is in a similar vein. And I'll probably post that podcast like at the end. So
Absolutely.
if you want to, you know, listen to some Delco people come on and talk about their shit.
stuff. Yeah.
Chit-chat.
We can do that. But before we jump into the topic, you know, we usually talk about what we've been up to, what we're doing, what we're playing, whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Can I go first?
Absolutely, Gooch.
I
Hit me
usually
with
don't
this.
go first.
Yeah, no, I like it. Switch it up.
So, yeah, I went to Brigantine. I know I talked about that before for the first time. Went
Yeah.
down the shore, spent all 5 days on the shore,
That's what I like to
Wow.
hear.
on the beach.
Yeah.
What's better than that?
Yeah.
No rain, perfect weather.
Do you always go to shore
That's what
every
you
year?
hope for.
No.
You
I
said
don't
so
thi-
like it wasn't just your first time in Brigantine, it was your like first time family vacation down the shore, or
in like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think I've spent like more than a long weekend at the beach in like 10
long
years.
time.
Yeah, like especially during the weekdays, like that was like, you know, because usually it's like a long weekend, you get like 1 or 2 beach days.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
this is like I had more than I could like.
Then you can muster.
You're,
probably
like,
want.
done
Like
by
I'm
the
like
end.
my last day, I'm like I need the umbrella. Like I have to sit under the umbrella.
Gooch,
I'm
I
100%
live under the
same,
umbrella.
me
What
too.
do you mean? Are you
always
kidding me?
umbrella.
Like first day, like let's fucking go. Like I'm good. And
Like,
then
that's
I'll-
how you get torched.
How's
And
the wind?
I-
Yeah, exactly.
That was the issue the last day. The
because
wind.
it starts taking down
I'm
your
like,
umbrella.
dude. I'm like,
I
this,
know
I'm
it
like,
too well.
I'm like
Yeah.
fucking
It's the
miserable.
worst.
like my
yeah, it's the
nightmare.
worst.
And I was there alone.
The wind
like,
is my enemy.
My
Yeah.
sister and my
Yeah.
dad like did something else.
Yeah.
And I was like I don't have anyone to help me.
You're just fighting.
like I'm carrying like
You're
everything
fighing
down.
the elements.
I got a
just-
cooler.
Like you need a little wagon.
I had to like put the umbrella like in between my chair to like I like if I'm weighting it down, like,
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
ridiculous.
Like zip tying.
Well, dude,
too.
I mean, and that doesn't even matter if it starts like bending backwards, like the
Yeah.
wind just catches it. The worst.
So that was nice. Good
Yeah.
vacation. Did
I love to hear
did
it.
nothing. You
Are
can't
you-
complain.
Are you a short person?
Yeah, a little bit. I mostly hang under the umbrella when I'm down there. I
Yeah.
like going out in the water a lot. But
Yeah.
I got, it's so funny. I got sun poisoning once when I was like, I don't know, 10. And I think it
traumatizing.
gave me a legitimate fear of the sun where I like was like,
Yeah, you're
I was
trauma.
like petrified of getting
Yeah,
any type of
you're
sunburn again.
traumatized
I feel like
from
I've gotten better now, but I still get like, no, I'm terrible. But I do love hanging out on the beach here and
Very
there for sure.
fair-skinned.
Yeah. We did a beach trip earlier in the summer actually. A bunch of us who went down to Sea Isle. And it was really
Oh,
nice.
fun.
Yeah, we
I
had a
did
good
see
time.
that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But
You're like your crew.
absolutely, it was a lot of
That's a lot of
fun.
fun.
The beach was pretty good, but we didn't get a lot of weather on the first, or we got some shitty weather, I should say, on the first couple days. But we ended up making the most of it.
Yeah.
What else, Gooch? What else have you been up to? I want to hear it.
So before I went down to the beach, when I was talking about my backbone, right?
Yeah.
So since you don't know what this is, a backbone.
Or
is
you may not.
bi-
We
yeah,
don't want
you
to-
definitely probably don't know what this is.
Film me.
It's
Film
good
me.
as soon as she does it. It's like basically it's like a controller that turns your phone into like a Switch.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, like a
So
console, yeah.
like Xbox and PlayStation have what's called remote and cloud play, and it's basically like I can remote into my console or stream a game from the cloud on my phone. So that's what I did. I used the remote play with Xbox to play Pentiment and Stardew Valley, and for a first test run of this, not bad. There's definitely some like connection lag.
I was gonna
and-
say, I'm sure you can't play that with like a real twitchy game though, where you
Right,
need
like a
like instant
shooter.
response or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, but it was like to kill like a few hours here and there on the shore, or not on the beach, but like
Yeah.
down there, like in the mornings or at night. Like I probably played like a total of like 5 or 6 hours with it, and it was good. Like it was $90. I got it like on sale. It was,
Well,
like,
I'm sure
originally
for games
120.
like that
Is it
are
new?
so good.
Relatively,
development?
there's like a big. I'll say like resurgence because like we had handhelds like when we were younger, right? Like everyone had like a Game Boy Advance or Color and
Yeah.
SP.
Yeah.
But now that like the tech is there, besides the Switch, there are like what's called an Asus the Asus ROG Ally, which is essentially like a computer but like a Switch, but like
Okay.
not Nintendo stuff. And then
Like a handheld console, basically.
the what's Valve's
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, yeah. So they're expensive. They're like upwards of like $500-$600, like some of the stuff. So like, it's not new, but it's just like a new way to play games on the go.
Yeah.
Those
instead of
are
just on your
different though,
phone.
right? Because those you play, those don't stream like the
Right.
Steam Decks and
So
stuff. Those just you're
mine,
playing
I
it
was
from your
I
console.
was streaming the game.
Yeah.
The Steam
Okay.
Deck you play natively, so there's no like lag or anything like that.
Yeah,
so it's
okay.
kind of like a different experience. It's like
Cool.
this is a perfect comparison. Downloading your Netflix on the plane versus just streaming it.
Just like picking you.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Right.
Cool.
Like
using
Got
through
it.
the
Got
internet,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's fun.
So yeah,
Interesting.
like I was mentioning,
It's good
play-
though. You like it?
Yeah. For what it's doing,
I'm
it
sure
was
for
fine.
like a Stardew, that would be
Right,
I'd be in
and
heaven.
Pentiment.
That would be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so I did start playing Pentiment again, and Pentiment, for those who don't know, and we haven't talked about it for a while, is like essentially like a visual novel that takes place in 15th century Bavaria, and you are an artist who has to solve a murder. It's very awesome game. Like it's
The art style is like stained
there's
glass.
not a lot of
almost.
gameplay. It's
very
more
cool.
like
Really cool.
Yeah.
it's just a story. Like you don't do much of anything, but like this, it's very historically based. They're constantly referencing like shit that's going on in the world, and like they have like a glossary to like tell you what this is.
Would that necessarily be like a point and click kind? Would you say
Yes.
that that's like right? Yeah.
But
so
it's,
yeah, you
it's
really
awesome.
It's so much fun. yeah.
I played it again, and I'm playing it a third time to get all the achievements.
Gooch and his achievements. If you've listened to any podcast.
Speaking of that, I platinum
Like
Resident Evil
move
4.
on.
I platinum Resident Evil 4. 7
that
playthroughs.
sounds like
baby.
hell on earth. I don't know how you did that.
It was
So you guys are opposite in that
Well,
regard, I guess.
certain
like
things
you-
I'll go for the like trophies. I like the trophies on PlayStation because you get platinum trophies and like gold trophies versus on Xbox you just get points. And I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't like make me want to
Yeah.
do it. But like on like games that I really like and I find it like I'm like I really want to get everything on this game. I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
But Gooch is definitely more on that than me.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm just a completionist. I play games to like the absolute like max.
like
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7, you have to beat like 5 times, right?
7. I don't know.
I'm not doing
for
that.
For 4, I had to play
love
7
but
times.
Yeah.
So like this is like if I'm bolting through this game, it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
But like first playthrough is like 20. You're just spending more time, because you don't know what you're doing. But like Resident Evil is a kind of series where like once you play through it, like you can kind of like learn the environment and the map like the back of your hand, and you just blitz through it.
You can beat that game in like an hour, right? Really, if you want, or on like on the one mode, anyways, the one where you go through.
Probably.
Yeah,
like RE1 maybe, but not 4.
I think you can. I thought I saw some, but
I mean, I beat it in like 4 hours.
That's wild.
I did have to speedrun it, but I'm done that. Thank fucking God.
By the way, that's what my favorite.
Like
he says like he has to do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll do it, and like, but I'll like just be like, Jesus Christ, thank God. This is over.
He's like, I finally finished it. I'm like, you can put that down at any time, right? He's like, I can't.
No
though.
one's
I can't.
making you do this.
No, yeah. That's probably why I do it, because like I'm not. I do it to myself.
Yeah,
I torture myself.
That's so funny.
I finished Final Fantasy 16. We're gonna be talking about that next week, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. Great game. And then I finally got around to Alan Wake Remastered.
Oh,
yeah,
I like it.
Preparing.
How
for
far
Alan
in?
Wake 2. I beat it.
Oh shit! What'd you think? It's an old game.
I can
it's
see
an old ass game.
Everything Control came from. That game.
Yeah,
oh my
definitely.
God! I'm just like, this is such a Euro jank game. I'm
Honestly, I feel like it lines up for what I'm playing.
Like this is so like weird, but like it's, and then it kind of like comes together in the end. Like I'm like, oh no, this is good. So Alan Wake is about like a writer who like is writing the story he's currently like, he's like written the events of the game, and like you're actually like doing it.
Okay.
So like he's
it's like a paranormal type thing,
right? And there's like mystical shit going on, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he has to figure out like when did he write this manuscript that he's.
Yeah, he woke up with like amnesia. His girlfriend's missing and stuff. Like it's
right.
It's very
He's
thrillery.
Like,
it's good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's so many different games. I wish I was like more in that world, but I'm not.
I know.
Anyway,
I really do think it only takes the right game to get everyone into video games, but it's such a big, especially if you haven't been playing them for like a long.
I always
it's a tough
blame
ask.
it on my brothers because
They
we got like a GameCube forever and ever. Like I was like in first grade or whenever, and we got it for Christmas, the 3 of us.
Sure.
And they'll be so mad at me when they watch this. But I blame them because I was never allowed to play, and from then on, I just like wrote off video games because I was like, oh, my brothers play, and that's such like a girl thing. Like,
oh no!
But I never like. I was just like, I can't play, whatever, and then I like walked away, and was like, I guess I'm never playing video games. That was 20-something years ago, so I should get over it. But
that's okay. That's
like,
understandable.
I definitely did,
especially with sibling stuff. It can stick. It can stick hard.
Yeah. Well, and there's like we had 2 controllers,
so you were
there's
just
3 of
always
us.
screwed.
Like I'm just gonna like whatever.
That's frustrating.
And maybe I wasn't even like looking back on it with more anger, and I wasn't like really caring that I was not playing.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
you were just
that's
you were
the
caring that you were
reason why I'm
excluded.
not
This
in video
trauma.
games.
This buried trauma.
Like I'm pissed at you guys.
Man.
I blame you.
When Francesca wanted to play like PlayStation, like she like played like DDR Max and stuff, like DDR pad. Remember that?
No.
The dancing stuff.
Oh, Dance Revolution.
Yeah. Sorry.
DDR. Apology.
We had
Dance
that.
Dance
I was allowed to play that, and like,
but when she wanted to play, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
and you're stomping it out.
I mean, I played it, but I was just like, I'm on it. This is mine.
Yes.
Get out.
This is my thing. That's funny.
Yeah, the only things we played, like Shawn Mars had SingStar, and you had to like it was like
SingStar.
karaoke.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That was popular on Wii, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
like,
and then we
all
had
those
a
ones
Wii,
were even
and
at Dance Dance.
Yeah. Like Wii bowling and all that kind of stuff, and then
best.
like a little bit of like Call of Duty just for ha-has to be like I played Call
Just
of
for
Duty.
ha-ha.
Yeah, I played COD.
Yeah,
No big deal.
but that's it.
That's great.
I'm a gamer.
It's so funny. Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then last but certainly not least, I finished the Clone Wars Season 3. So do you know what the Clone Wars is? Star Wars.
Okay.
So it is the animated show that was on like 2002, 4, you know, like
Okay.
to like probably like 2008, and it takes place between Star Wars Episode 1 and Episode 3. So the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith.
Correct.
Yeah. It's like, I'm
God,
like,
dude,
please don't
get it
tell me what's
together.
wrong. And yeah, so
You need a cheat sheet for that.
Yeah.
and there's actually
That is
there's actually a Star Wars show coming out called Ahsoka, and Ahsoka is from that show.
Yeah.
Like she's originally an animated character. She started
that's
there,
kinda
so
cool.
and now they've kind of transitioned her to live action, but pretty much the show is about like the war that is actually going on in the movies that they don't really go into it all.
That's cool. That's what's cool about that kind of stuff, that you can just go off on all these different paths.
They have
and,
so
like,
much,
really
for sure.
dive into different storylines and stuff.
And usually it's like with shows like that, the first few seasons are whatever. They're just like, oh, this is a battle, and this is going on, and this is the plot, and then we're done.
It's just a tiny little side tangent, like you said. Yeah,
like Avatar: The Last Airbender does like the same kind of thing.
For sure.
And then as we get to the end, it starts focusing. It gets more character
Convergence.
driven.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what's happening now in like season 4. It's like, okay, like Ahsoka's getting older, and we're getting closer to episode 3, so shit's gonna go down, and
I watched that so long ago. I can't. It's so funny. I barely remember any of it. Like,
you guys like consume a lot of.
We
media,
definitely
so
do.
I don't know how you keep track of.
It gets jumbled. That's for damn sure.
Even with what I watch, I'm like, I don't remember. How do I remember names so easily? Like,
I will say it's taking up some probably important information though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should know history, and it's like, no, but I know the history of the Jedi. Is that okay? Yeah,
that's history.
Now let me talk to you about The Sopranos.
I don't know geography, but I know where the planets are in Star Wars. No.
But Emma, speaking of what you're watching, why don't you tell me what you've been up to? If you maybe you haven't been playing anything, but feel free to tell us what's going on.
Playing anything? I wish I was. Like I said, I have a really bad time with like free time. I don't do it. Like I don't consume stuff. I'm always like.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Are you a workaholic?
A little bit, but then also I go through like phases of like all I do is work, and then when I do have downtime, I'm like, what the heck do I do with my downtime? And then I waste my downtime trying to figure out what I want to do with my downtime. But I'm trying to think. So I watched the Tour de France, Jack, and he got me really heavily into the Tour de France, which was a lot of fun. It's just so they're not real people.
No,
I
that
don't
stuff's
understand.
wild. Yeah.
And then so right before it started, that's like the beginning of July. I think it's like July 1st, and it's 21 days.
Yeah, I'm like it's like a month long. Right?
Yeah, it's really
wild.
crazy. It's just insane. But they had a short series about last year's Tour de France, so we watched that, and you got to like learn all about the different riders and stuff, and it was just so amazing how hard they train. It was really, really interesting, and I never understood. I didn't realize there was like teams and the different points that you acquire each day, and like through different checkpoints in the day. It's really, really wild. It just doesn't make. I wish
it's funny because I like know little to nothing probably about bike racing like that. So I mean, I know Lance Armstrong when you say that, and I can only imagine how deep. Yeah, of course.
That's most people's touchstone.
Of course,
I imagine.
I can't imagine how deep that goes. Like how long is how long is that? So I get it goes for 20 days. So they're literally biking for 20 days.
So they bike for I guess it's like 6 to 8 hours, I think, a day. Jesus. I could be way off on that, but it's like many hours. And they get off, and what's the craziest part is their cool down is just they hop on a stationary bike and then continue to bike. Like, I just don't understand. And there's like maybe 4 down, like there's 4 off days max, I think. It's just crazy. I wish I stayed up with it more, but I just will get up in the morning and I'll put it on and watch part of it, or watch updates on Instagram and stuff. It's crazy. And the way they're so close together, first of all. I sit like this and I'm holding on for dear life watching a TV because they're so because
all it takes is one person to freaking mess up.
And there's
I think I've seen them. Yeah,
huge crashes and
right?
people are out. It's crazy, and the car is falling behind them. It's a wild experience.
Right, because they're being filmed.
Yeah,
that is.
I do recommend that series. I'll find out what it's called. But
is it on Netflix or?
I think it's on Netflix.
Like a streaming service.
It's on a streaming service.
Cool. Okay,
it's really good.
Cool.
Actually, something you said, I have a question. Because I have come to visit you at the barn to either pick shit up. Do you while you're working? Do you have? I've never been in there, and you are you're working. There's nothing on. There's no music. Do you listen to shit while you work? Or?
Yeah, sometimes I'll have on I have a speaker, but I have AirPods in a lot of the time.
I see.
And I'll listen to music or podcasts.
Gotcha.
Or every once in a while, if I'm painting something super tedious, like a cornhole or something where I can have it up and I'm just painting, I'll put on a show. And I've rewatched a ton of shows that way. Because shows that I know what happened already, so I don't have to look back.
Exactly.
And I'm I know, Arrested Development's one of those types of shows that I can put on and just know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, you could just
have some
every
giggles
episode.
and you kind of feel like you're not, because I'm alone all day.
Sure.
So kind of feels like I'm hanging out with friends.
That's
that sounds ridiculous, but
no, that's
great.
And
same with a podcast or things like that. Yeah, but I'm always listening to music. Sometimes I'm in silence, but every once in a while I'll put a show on, but like it has to be specific because then I get distracted because
No, that's fair.
Even if I have podcasts on, I will miss like 15 minutes of the I'm like, wait, I don't even know what I was listening to.
Yeah,
it's like so into
I'm like, fuck, dude,
like,
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, are you like that? Like when I know you draw a lot.
And
like,
it's so funny. I used to with my old job, I could pay attention a lot more, but now I'm doing a lot of cold calling, so I can't listen to nearly the same like amount of podcasts and stuff during the day and things like that. I can't listen to audiobooks for that most of that reason. Out of podcasts, I'm a little bit better with keeping
like 15 minutes and like, what the fuck?
But like, if I'm listening to an audiobook, like, and I'm like, what did I just hear? But no, especially podcasts too. If it's something I want to like pay attention to, something too, like, it's the worst.
I even do it like reading a book. I will somehow zone what
out.
did I just read on this page? And I have to go back and reread the page again.
I read.
Sure, Gooch.
Like normal books, not just comics. That's actually was like a resolution last year that I was just like, I just want to start reading more. I read fucking slow. It takes me a while to get through stuff.
Okay.
But sometimes I'm reading at night and I'm just like, what did I was reading that but not retaining any of it.
I just got through the first part of the second Dune book and I like ripped through it. And then I just put it down. I don't know why. I can't get back into it now. I need to start it back up.
There's definitely phases. I've been trying to get back into reading recently a lot, and I'm struggling so much. I used to read all the time and plow through books.
Yeah.
And now I'm reading. You're a big music guy, right?
Yeah, too. Yeah, for sure.
You like your classic rock and stuff like that.
Yes,
So it's a Rick Rubin book. It's about creativity. It's the creative act, and I forget the whole title, but
that sounds cool.
The paragraph or the chapters are really, really short. And they're all like touching on different parts of like the creative process.
Yeah,
you would really you probably like it too. It's
you
really
definitely
good.
have to send me the name of that.
But even that's a book that I really want to read and I really like it.
That's so good. Yeah, I'm
having a hard time. I'm like, I got to pick up the book, and then I'm making it like a chore. Like you have to go finish this game again.
Well, and especially like when I feel like and it's tough. Like because you get to a spot like especially with that Dune book, I got like the first half was so much, then I hit like one boring chapter. Yeah, and like I just got to push through it. It's honestly it's even the same with a game. Like I was playing Spider-Man, and like you get to the part where you don't play as Spider-Man for some reason. I'm like, all right, I just gotta push through it. Just get there.
Yeah.
Just get through. This is the worst
Mary
part.
Jane stealth sections, classic.
And Miles, but it's still it's so funny. But no, I totally get you on that, Emma. It's tough.
It's funny because you're like, I really want to do this. Why can't I? Yeah. But that's
all you gotta do is just do it some of the time usually too. So
yeah, you gotta like 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Tour de France, that's what I was watching. And then Jack and I were rewatching. Have you watched The Nick?
No, but I've heard good things.
No,
that's like the doctor in the 1800s or something, right? 1900s?
Yeah, it's like the
late
turn of the century. Yeah, it's the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York. We watched it like, this is probably our third time watching it.
Really?
Anything like movies, shows related, I get from Jack. Like I never.
That's awesome.
You guys have watched Dexter, right?
I have not. I remember my parents like watching it as it came out and like really enjoying it, but then never.
You can watch the first 4 seasons.
It was
that's
it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it's like
that's
the Lost thing. I know that people, or like I never watched Game of Thrones, but everyone like hates the last.
It is tough.
I guess it's controversial.
Yeah, I think more people do lean on the it sucks part, but I hope so.
But like things you never want your favorite show or a show you really enjoyed to end, and then it always gets dragged on too long, and then I wish it ended when it was like at the top of its game, and you just went one season too far or whatever too
That's
far.
That's so true.
There was a time when Game of Thrones, like the last 2 seasons, that was like an event.
Yeah,
like everyone was watching Game of Thrones. Like it was.
I remember.
Strange.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I was the only person in the world that wasn't watching.
Like I'd come into work and we'd be like, "Fucking Thrones!" Like
I'll still never
was it like
forget.
Sunday nights or whatever? So like Monday you come in and
first 2 episodes, everyone was like, "Oh, this is fine." The third episode, we used to go over to Christian Super's house and watch like it was like 8 of us, and at the end of the battle, like the 3rd episode in the season, everyone was like, "Oh, that was pretty good." And everyone looked at me. I'm like, "What's up, Drew?" I'm like, I didn't think that was very good, guys. And they're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, maybe it was.
He has his hand on his mouth.
And then it just kept going down.
You're leaning back and like you just haven't said a word.
But it is weird. Is that weird dichotomy? Like you said, it's like it should end when you don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Because you want to be left wanting more. It was like, did you ever watch Key and Peele on Comedy Central?
Yeah.
Like they went out on their 3rd season, and they were at the peak. Like, that was all their stuff so good, and it never got shit.
Yeah, you can still rewatch it and love it and not have any sort of, like
oh, this got shitty.
Whatever. Yeah, you're like, God damn, like, I don't
I mean, that's like The Walking Dead, like, was, like, in a league of its own, and then we're on season 9, and I'm like, oh my God!
Yeah.
Like, just end, please! Put this thing out of its misery.
There's one person in the world that I know that's still, and he's now watching the spin-off or whatever.
I cut myself off.
It's Jack's dad, and he loves it. It's so funny because he, like, that's what he lives for. He's like, Walking Dead tonight, and like, or whatever this new one is.
They do like relatively well. So
apparently they spun off 2 fucking 3.
And that was Sunday nights as well. I remember when we first started dating, he was like, I gotta go home and watch The Walking Dead with my dad, and I was like, it's still.
I think when I saw him recently, we were talking about The Walking Dead, and he was telling me, he's like, I watched The Walking Dead with my dad. I'm like, it's a good excuse to watch The Walking Dead, because like I was watching it and I'm just like, like the whole fucking time.
How many times can the same thing happen with
like,
new characters or whatever?
I'm like, this is like, like even the last episode, like not even the last season, the last episode was just like, all right, I guess this is as good as it was gonna get.
Like that was that. I guess.
Given. Like it's not the comics, but whatever. Like.
Also, before we add any further, I want to shout out your van page on Instagram because I fucking love a good VW van, and it's so fucking cool. Like, it's my dream car.
I'm so upset. We had it I was at a concert last night at Mount Joy, and we drove her there. Thank you.
Of course.
We drove her there.
Her name's Greta.
I know. I follow her.
Oh, you do? That's amazing. I was on my way here. I should have turned around and brought her and driven her over. We could have podcasted from
I would have been
Dude, next time, seriously, when you're down, I'll come over.
I would love to check it out.
I would bend over backwards to podcast in the van. I'll make that fucking happen.
No, seriously, I don't have to be on the podcast. You guys just podcast.
Just bring the van over.
From the van.
Seriously, you
That's
can do
so funny.
My driveway's flat. You can park in my driveway.
That is amazing.
Seriously, that would be. I thought of it on the way here. I was like, God damn it,
that's the thing people do. They podcast.
Absolutely, I've seen on the road podcasts.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
You guys definitely have to come drive her around.
Absolutely, it looks so. So did you guys like put that back together, or like how did you buy it, or like what?
So 2020 we got it. Jack and I got it together.
Sure.
And we were like looking originally. So that's one of my dream cars, and then it pains me to say it now because they're so big, and I'm just being an asshole about it. But Ford Broncos, like a 76, like a 67 or 76, they're my two favorites.
They're such cool cars.
Were my favorite car forever, and I always wanted one. So Jack and I were gonna get one. It was his idea to restore a Bronco, but it was right around the time that they just announced that they were releasing the new ones. So all Broncos were so expensive. Like for just like the shell.
Yeah.
It was insane. So then Jack was like, well, I know she loves Broncos and I know she loves Volkswagen buses.
Yeah.
So let's look at a bus. And he found one online and he was going to surprise me and be like, hey, we're getting this. But he was like, we need to check it out first.
Yeah.
Right.
So we found that it was, the guy was in Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my God, that's so close. So we drove up. She didn't run at the time. So, but we did nothing to her body.
Wow.
It was just like some like typical maintenance stuff. We needed to put a new starter in her right away and a new battery and stuff. And like there's things like she got inspected the other day and
she already had that paint.
Always, that's her color.
I love the green.
It's like,
I love it. Looks so
it's like snot green, but it's now Greta green. It's my favorite.
It works totally for that van. Are you kidding me?
It's a registered vintage vehicle, right?
We do not have it registered as a vintage vehicle, so we could there's
like
different classes. There's different classes of it where like. If it's a classic, you can only drive it like it's
so many miles.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like
10.
Sundays from like 10 to 2, and you're like,
it's wild.
I didn't know there was all these rules.
Yeah.
Why would you? And when it's like when the sun is like perfectly in the sky, and
45
and there's a new moon tomorrow, like you can only do it at like very specific.
Sacrifice.
You need a
your babe sacrifice. Yes.
Yeah. So we were like, there's no point to have her if
you can't do that.
If we can't just like hop and go tailgate at a concert or go drive to the Poconos or just like in the fall we'll always like go get apple cider donuts and drive her and just like hang out and whatever, just go get ice cream just to have her running and around.
That's amazing.
So you can't do that. So she's just registered as a regular, which I don't know if that makes the insurance more expensive or less expensive, but it's just you're running more of a risk. Of,
right,
if you're driving her more, then there's more.
When you said you got inspected, I'm like, I'm curious what a vintage vehicle inspection is, how much that costs. Like, that's the first thing I thought of.
It's the same as a regular inspection,
really?
but there's always something wrong.
Okay,
like,
so but it isn't registered as a vintage vevehicle. You said, I'm sorry,
no,
it's not.
No,
okay, that's what I thought. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I just want to let you know I'm very jelly.
She's everyone. She's here to share, so you're more than welcome to hang out. I'm glad that you can appreciate her. Like, it was really cool yesterday. We've tailgated with her a few times, and yesterday it was at the Man. I don't know if you guys listened to...
I had some friends at that concert,
And so we just, like, got down there early to tailgate and hanging out. And, like, the people that come up, like, just seeing everyone else, like, oh, my God, this is so cool. And get to, like, hang and, like, can we take a picture?
Started.
Yeah, and they're always asking questions. And it's just really fun to see everyone else be so excited about it. Like, you just get this secondhand joy from them being like, oh, my God. And, like, we have everyone that's been in it or hung out in it or tailgated sign it. So, like, the headliner of it is just like everyone's signatures and stuff, because like we're gonna replace the headliner because it's falling apart. There's like white duct tape on spots and things, but
you're patching it up. It's okay.
But like everyone, Jack actually just took a photo. I can find it and show you.
I think I actually saw it.
He literally just posted it.
I saw it
a couple hours ago, or maybe not even an hour ago. And so it just like has everyone's signatures, and it's a fun.
Well, we're going to link that account down below this.
I need to post on it more. It has like 3 posts.
No, it's still cool. It's
it's Greta Van
Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet. I was like, I know it's a play on Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, I can't take credit for. I named her Greta. I chose the name Greta, but then my brother Eric was like randomly like, I think he just like tagged when we went to a wedding. We drove it to my cousin's wedding.
Oh, that's boss.
When we first got her. It was so fun. And they have like some photos of them in their wedding.
That's so cool.
Stuff, and it's awesome. Cool. But he like posted on Instagram and did a hashtag like Greta Van Sweet, and I was like, oh my God, that's so good. That's it. Yeah. So she has like a little pennant and it is Greta Van Sweet. Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. She's really fun to drive. She's somehow automatic, which is amazing.
Oh, that is wild.
Because she has like no power steering, and when I'm turning her, I'm like, and it's like a bus.
It's a real adjustment to drive.
So you're like,
I can only imagine. Yeah, I drove one thing like without power steering one time, and it was the most insane thing ever. Yeah.
It's crazy. It takes
you're
all my money.
Right,
I'm like, oh my God, yeah. It's a little bit of a workout.
Could you get power steering put into that? I assume that kind of, I know that there's also like there's expensive one, and then I know there is also like do you guys want to keep it as original as it is as you can, or kind of
like that's what we were originally like. Oh, do we like try and keep it perfect? Because then it's like as in it's nowhere near mint condition, but as close to mint condition as possible. Like everything original. To resell, we're like, why would we have something just to have it for resale value? Like, we want to enjoy it. So we'll see. I don't know. There's like a lot of people do engine swaps with Subaru engines.
Interesting.
So like, if we wanted to take her on long trips and stuff, we'd have to. There's no heat, there's no air, and so like, yes, we're driving down. But there's a sunroof, so like crank it open.
Cool. Yeah, you got all the windows open and everything.
Luckily, we haven't had too hot of a summer. I know it's been raining.
Yesterday was a little warm.
Oh, it's funny. We used to drive around in Super's Jeep all the time, and he had no AC in that, and I wanted to kill myself. It was so hot during the summer, and even during the winter. You'd always need to smoke a cigarette, so we'd roll the windows down so it would be freezing.
Dude.
Yeah. I remember being in that Jeep a few times. I did, like, and you can't even have a conversation because it always has the doors up, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's fun.
It is, absolutely. No, for sure.
Yeah, but if you're like going, so you're like every time you want to go for a joyride in it, but not every time you get in a car. You want it to be no doors.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And sweating.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Or messing up your hair.
Absolutely. The big thing. Are you kidding me?
But I'm fucking horrible about like I'm like is my hair okay? Like I want to put the windows down, but I'm like, is this gonna mess up my hair?
Yeah. You got lots of volume, dude.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
I'm sadly starting to thin. I'm widow's peak, and I can tell. It's sad, but it's a part of life.
I have a widow's peak. It's okay.
You know how before we started recording, we were talking about like listening to each other's or listening to our voices and like being like weird about it. Well, like my thing is my hair. Yeah. Like I will stare at my hair in meetings at work while I'm editing the podcast and be like I pick this side because this is my better side. Like, I don't think I've ever said this.
No, I don't think so.
That's amazing.
And
I love that.
I used to have my hair styled on the other side, but I styled it the other way.
You trained it? You went through the whole training?
Yeah, I've switched a few times, but like I'm like my better side is this side.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll just style my hair to that because this is the side of the camera.
That's a good idea.
That's amazing. I love that. That's so great.
I've never said that. I don't think that anyone.
You just admitted it to your deep dark secret.
That was like that was.
It's on camera now too.
I'm happy it was with us.
This is what you're bringing out, Emma, for me. Yeah,
making you vulnerable.
Absolutely. Did we go through everything?
I don't even know.
Got anything else?
We
can keep going.
I went to the concert yesterday.
Yeah.
Actually going to Colorado on Wednesday to see Mount Joy again at Red Rocks.
Ooh, Red Rocks.
Yes.
Okay.
That's probably fucking awesome. No, I know what that is though.
Jack and I went a couple years ago. We saw Camp there.
Oh,
Are you a camp
I'm not aware of Camp.
Is Mount Joy like? What genre are they? I know who
like
they
alternative.
are.
They're
that's exactly what I thought they were.
They're kind of jam, like when they perform like last night. They're kind of jam bandy where they're like taking on the same. I can't think of the word right now, but the same style as Dead & Co.
Oh,
where
okay.
they don't have an opener anymore. They actually like flow right into certain songs. They cover a few. Mm-hmm. They do like Fire on the Mountain. And so they did like a half-hour set or something, then or 45 minutes, took a little bit of a break, and then came back. And they're like kind of being like to jam band style, like enjoy. Yeah.
I want to get to more concerts so bad.
Yeah.
I really it's tough. I went to John Mayer in Pittsburgh last month. And it was his acoustic tour, and I was like,
that's awesome.
I was like, how is this going to be? It's just him on the stage
was
with
it
the
like
guitar.
Better than you thought?
It was fucking awesome. Like he kicked ass just with the guitar,
so
and it was really cool. Made me want to go to way more.
I have a habit.
Dead & Co. I want to see so bad.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be so cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're still doing it.
This was actually their final.
Yeah, that's what I
final
thought.
Tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they?
Well, because it's Dead. It's like it's Grateful Dead and John Mayer, right?
Yeah.
And then that's it though. Or is there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because they're
like
an
people,
older band.
I know,
sure.
I know,
They're
but like, dude, people would pay.
True.
People,
yeah.
I mean, that concert
Bob
alone
Lee is
is
like 879.
Yeah.
I looked it up recently because we talk about how he does like jujitsu or yoga or whatever like before he's. How's he still staying
that's
on
like
stage?
Roger Waters is still going with
exactly.
the wall shit.
It's crazy, but I think there'll be some new iteration of it.
That's cool. Awesome.
Eventually, but yeah, they're another great.
Yeah, my girlfriend really wants to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We've been trying to line it up. There's been some actually reasonably priced ones.
Soon.
Yeah, I think we were looking at that. I don't know if we're going to be able to go, but yeah, she really wants to go check them out. And their tickets actually surprisingly aren't like that insane.
Really?
All. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the hardest part. Like bands like Mount Joy, their tickets are like $50.
Yeah, like
very, very
That's
reasonable.
awesome. Yeah.
But then there's like certain tickets. Like I want musicians to make money for
of
sure.
Of course, no.
But like I feel like they don't even get to see half. Yeah. You don't even get to. They don't see half of that money.
No, it's ridiculous.
Like
all
craziness.
The ticket purchasing stuff is insane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how much we paid for John Mayer. I don't think it was more than $100. Which
that's
really wasn't bad.
That's
at all.
not bad.
Yeah, I mean we weren't like right up on stage by any means, but we had a great view and everything. So it was nice.
And half the time, like a lot of the general admission concerts that I go to, you're in front of all these people. It's just standing room. And I just, half the time, I'm just like closing my eyes and listening to music anyway. It's like, I'm either staring at someone's back or I'm going to close my eyes and pretend, like, make my own scene.
That's good. You're still enjoying it. That's great.
I've been, second time talking about New Year's resolutions. I've my whole life, I've never really been a concert person. Like, I've gone to, even now, only a handful. But I started, so like 2020, I wanted to start doing that. Obviously, that didn't happen with COVID and shit.
Bad year to
bad year to So I was like, like as like COVID started letting up, like I just started like buying tickets to concerts and like going on my own. So like I go to concerts alone like often.
Cool.
That's great.
You went down to Texas, right? To see see Midnight, right?
Yeah. I'm seeing them again. They're coming to the Franklin Music Hall in October, like the week after I come back from Iceland, which is another thing I'm doing alone.
That's a very Sach thing. Sach does stuff like that.
He does. He went to Spain alone. Yeah.
It's really cool. That's awesome to be able to do things on your own. I wish
it's a work up to. It's definitely
it
like
takes courage.
I mean, Iceland concert was one thing. I was a little nervous about it, but
I mean, the Iceland thing, I'll give you a lot of credit for too.
Yeah.
Like that's big.
Have you ever gone you went to Texas by yourself to see the concert?
My cousin ended up coming with me. But,
that's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
about that.
So is this your first solo trip?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're going to Iceland.
And I'm going to Iceland.
Dude, that's crazy. Not crazy in a good way. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
No,
but like the concert stuff, it's like, I'm just like, I'm not like in concerts a little different too. Like you're not really there to hang out with the people you're
you're
with.
not
You just happen to be with your friends most of the time.
Yeah,
but like you're there to listen to a band, and I'm like having I did so this is the third time I'm seeing them Midnight. I saw them again 6 months later when they came to Philly, and I did the VIP like experience, and I'm doing that again. So it's just like it's nice when you kind of don't have to worry about anyone else. You just buy your own
coordinating
thing.
Or making sure that they're doing like they're having a good time or getting there when they want to get there, doing what they want to do.
Right. You're on nobody's schedule but your own.
It's always good.
True. That's great point. I'm always worried about everyone else.
Yes, I am too. Yeah, I get that.
Making sure everyone else
scheduling this podcast I think has and I do it kind of for work too, like deal with people's schedules. I think it's gotten me into some really bad habits of just kind of like being on people. I mean, he knows. Like I'm just like very
fine.
I'm just very on top of it.
So you're type A and you're type B.
I'd say that for sure. Yeah. And it's funny though because I mean we're usually every Sunday we never have usually any issues.
I mean with each other. No.
Yeah, for sure. It's just and we get it. We're especially if we're trying to do like something like our rewind reviews. We'll have people on for multiple podcasts. So it's like you're trying to get someone else lined up. They have a job. They have a life. We understand.
How dare they?
It's stuff.
And
I know. Goddamn.
Playing Dungeons and Dragons is the worst part about it is scheduling.
Yeah, well, it's
just
like
trying to get everyone in the
job
same.
in itself.
For sure.
Right. I mean, we played last time. We just played like this Friday for the first time in 2 months.
Just because just scheduling everyone's stuff.
It kind of sucks. Like I'm just like fuck, dude.
We could play online, but someone doesn't like to play.
No.
I
think this is beyond. This is beyond me. I think I've never met Del.
I think
I'm like good. I don't want to play online.
It probably does take away.
It does
a lot of.
Well, even like we could do a lot of these podcasts online, but we do like still getting in person. Like it's nice being able to.
Yeah, it's a whole different element, and like you were saying with the audio, like I feel like there's always
for sure.
If it were.
Unless I had like a setup with a mic like this at my place.
I mean, we've had that conversation. It's like, we would just have to mimic the setup there. But then again, it's like you're now responsible for
like testing on
another level, which you weren't before.
Yeah, and then you need a second table.
Exactly, absolutely.
So
which
maybe
we did.
You should.
Yeah, you're like actually wait a second.
That's funny. Yeah, what about you?
Trio.
Not much really. So you'll like this, Gooch. I started finally finishing Better Call Saul.
Thank God.
I'm midway through season 5.
My man.
Kim I don't know why I was finally. Did you watch Breaking Bad or anything like that?
Oh, so I've seen the last episode.
What?
It's the most outrageous thing.
I mean, it's a great episode.
When it aired, my brothers were watching it, and I happened to be down in the basement, and I just watched the last episode.
That's fair. No, that's fine. You got the important bits, I would assume.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. It's Bob Odenkirk is so much fucking fun in that show. He makes me laugh out loud.
You really learned
like
how to play that character.
Absolutely. Yeah. But also, I watched this movie called Wild River on Netflix last night with some people. Did you watch it? What did you think?
Wait, I'm lying to you.
You did? It's okay.
I thought of Wind River.
Oh.
When you said it. Wind River's really good.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's really good. Never mind.
It's okay.
And
they
that
might be a little bit different.
was so intense.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my God.
I was like, oh, you watched it?
Wait,
no.
I would have been
No.
surprised because it's like 4 or 5 on Netflix right now. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
But I don't know. It was all right. It was like a thriller, like set out in the woods. These people are like trying to get. I almost can't give away the plot without giving away with it. It was actually like pretty good because the trailer threw me, but then they were just making so many dumb like choices. You know, in a horror movie when they just make such blatantly dumb choices where you just can't, you're like, this is hurting my brain.
Yeah, let's go back
don't send that person alone.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah,
why are we doing this?
And even beyond that, it's
split
like,
up. Oh God.
Like there's at one point the guy is like on the ground sleeping. He has his gun in his hand and he tries to reach for the gun and the guy's like, and he moves. He's like, I can't get the gun, so I guess I'll untie you. He's like, no, you kick the dude in the face while he's knocked out. Like I know there's so many options. Either way, there was some pretty tense moments while they were on the river, but aside from that, it wasn't that good.
It was more frustrating.
Yeah, I was really just by the end. I was like facing my hands, and I was like, "Why is this happening?" Other than that, I've been replaying Red Dead. That's not a big thing, but because I play that all the time. But I'm doing but this is actually I'm like fully replaying the game and like doing everything over, getting all like the challenges and shit, and like trying to find everything. Because like one of the cool things about the game is like he creates a journal throughout the game, so you can kind of go back and like look at what you did throughout your playthrough. And I had like missed a lot of stuff that I wanted to get like as Arthur. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty close. I'm playing an old game called Republic Commando. It's like an old Star Wars game. That is really good. I don't know how I missed that. Like it's just a kind of that's like all the time first person shooter. So much fun. And then Spider-Man I replayed because the second one's coming out soon, which was a ton of fun.
That's something I wish I just had the time to do.
Oh, it was good to replay, and it's
maybe if you stop replaying some of your games.
You know what's funny?
Well, no, he needs to get those 80 achievements.
I'm no, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know why.
No, you know what's funny? It's like I don't rewatch shows ever.
Oh.
And you were like, I'm on my third time. It's like I won't rewatch a show.
Interesting.
I don't think it's like I'm not judging anybody who does because plenty of people do.
I feel like you are. No,
yeah, but it's I'm like this isn't like I'm like I've seen this before, but games are different.
Well, games, yeah, you're right. There's so many missed things.
I think they could happen in the show too, though.
But you just don't don't know what's going on, so you don't have the context.
Yeah,
I
think it's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and I think it's more. I do it for comfort. Like I know I like this show.
Really,
like
that's interesting.
Arrested Development is a comfort show. New Girl's a comfort show for me. Like even a weird comfort show, but Mad Men's one of my comfort shows.
No, totally.
Because I've watched that like 4 times. I'm gonna Jack and I restarted it. It was probably like in the spring. Sorry, I keep
this thing that's not you.
The middle mics will just naturally move.
It starts
to slowly get. It's not you. You're not doing
I appreciate you doing because I will not notice at all. I'm seeing it go.
Yeah,
right
I'll put my arm on and it'll
wants
just
to go
jump
on
down.
a walk.
Yeah.
But that's how I'm comfort shows.
That's the same way with me with video games. Like there's an old Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game. I play that all the time. Like I've replayed that game so many times.
that at all. I don't know why.
We're just placing too much value on.
No. But like, I feel like I'm the person who should
RoboCop's a big one for me too.
Like, I don't rewatch things for like comfort or like because I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I usually have some sort of like alternative motive to doing so.
Yeah.
Sure, like you're preparing for something.
Right. Like the pot or like before I watched the Clone Wars, I watched episode 1 and 2, and I would not have done that unless I was like, okay, well, like. I need to like re-immerse myself in this and get like built up.
A classic Goochism.
Yeah,
that's what I call.
I have a lot of Gooch. Where I do things in a very specific way that only I would do.
We were speaking about this the other day. Like Gooch has a smart TV, but he still plays all of his apps off of his console.
Yeah,
that's something I would do.
I don't know.
And I'm like, well, why not? It's the entertainment end.
But I'm like, you have everything's on you just use your remote. No. Then you have to break out the controller from the Xbox and stuff. Like it's just a whole.
Nope. Because that's how I first started. Like before we had smart TVs.
No, that
Xbox was the
absolutely
to Netflix.
For sure.
And I know plenty of people who still use their fucking Wii's to use like Netflix.
Don't get me wrong, I get it if you don't have a smart TV. That's all I'm gonna say. It's okay.
But you do.
Yeah, but you do. So it's like
that's okay.
Anyone else want to?
Everyone
that's my final Goochism for the day. But so Spider-Man, that was a lot of fun to replay. But it's funny going back. It definitely doesn't have some of the same shine to me. There are some
fucking face.
There are some. It is so. This is weird. You know how in a movie they can obviously like if in the second one they might recast someone, so it's just a different actor.
And it's weird. It's like
it's kind of, but even
it's
still
like
like
our Spider-Man
yeah, for sure. But like you can still go back and like watch the first movie with that character in it, like the same actor. So like in this they replaced the face model for Peter Parker, like Spider-Man in it, and
same
so
voice.
The first time, it's the same voice, but like we played
face.
through the first one like with this gift with a different actor basically playing him. And then you play through it again this next time, and it's like this weird kind of uncanny valley thing of like, I've seen this before, but it's not with you, and it doesn't feel quite. It's like it's odd.
And there's some like the developer saying like this actor captured better, and for going forward, like we want to use this guy.
It matches Yuri's face or something like that.
No video game has ever said this ever. This is the first time this has ever happened.
It was very odd.
And I'm just like, there's got to be something else here.
Yeah,
I'm like, I think there's a
keeping
conspiracy.
secrets.
And then there's
something else.
There's another conspiracy theory, and I will not let it go.
With Mary
for
Jane?
the second one with Mary, they like. I don't know if she just looks very different, but the actor they have playing Mary Jane just looks like a completely different person. And
same actor.
They're like, it's the same actor, and and we're like, I'm like, I don't care what you tell me, I will not believe that these two people are the same person. I don't know, like you're not gonna gaslight me into believing this. It's not true. But and then I started Miles Morales too, which is like the kind of follow up where you play as Miles, obviously, and that's been interesting for sure. But I just wanted to play those before the new one came out.
How often do you guys play video games? Like, are you like
every day? Yeah, I'm an everyday guy. Yeah,
get off work and then first thing you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually, I'll probably make myself some dinner and do some stuff. I should start going to the gym more, but
go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
I went to the gym this morning.
Oh, I think that's definitely that's the optimal. That is absolutely the optimal way to do it. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
can I do that?
And now I have a trainer who I see at nights.
That's cool.
After work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of motivation. Like having someone.
I would definitely
have like 2 gym
The last time,
vehicles.
last time I was really motivated to lose weight was my brother's wedding, and I lost a lot, and then I let it, and then COVID happened. And I just let it come back. Yeah. It's so easy to just let it go.
It's my motivation.
Yeah. No, dude, weddings can be a big one.
To lose like 30 pounds.
Absolutely, you will do it. I'm confident.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, you're good at like meal prepping and shit. So.
Yeah, I meal prep and everything
I'm
too.
Very.
You're regimented. That's
he's good. He's good on that stuff.
Yeah, I don't skip the gym ever. Like, if I don't go to the gym. It will be like I usually have something else going on.
I don't go to the gym.
Like if I went to a wedding on like a Saturday, I'm not going to the gym on a Sunday.
Sure.
Even if I feel good,
your mind.
Right, so you don't have commitment, is what you're saying.
So what you're saying is you're not committed.
So I take back the discipline comment.
I apologize. That was incorrect. But no, that makes total sense. Obviously, for sure.
Well, I was just using like I don't know what example, or like maybe I'm going out to breakfast or something. Yeah.
We deserve a day off here. I remember what happened with me with the gym. I stopped for like 3 days, and I knew, and I was like, "Oh no, I gotta get." And then it just kept going.
It's so easy to just slide right back out of it.
But that's really all I've been up to. Not a whole lot. The usual, you may say. But
this is a long build-up.
No,
we've been talking.
I don't know. We actually did. Yeah.
We do these usually in like 20 minutes, but I'm like, it's probably like 35 minutes, which is totally fine.
It is nice having someone new to talk to.
Like this than I would be about myself. I'm going to be a whole different person to ask me questions about.
I also do want to shout out. We've had a few women on the podcast before, but you're the first one in person.
Yeah, so that's a first here. Yeah, no big deal. Here is your award.
We're breaking the mold here on DNA.
Yeah, you are part of a first here, so welcome.
Huge.
But
well, thank you.
Yeah,
it's an honor.
The house of me. Okay. Right, that is the full. It's funny. I got screwed up because it was a different name before, right? And then you swapped it. Gotcha.
Yeah, when I went to get an LLC, I couldn't do it. There's someone that has Emma of all trades, which that wasn't even the name that
I never knew.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's what the reasoning was.
Yeah, so they're in a totally different. They're like they do something with stock trading or something. I don't know. But they're like different. In Conshohocken or something, so they're close by.
That's even funnier.
And I don't even know if they're still like in
operable.
practice. Yeah, but
kick open a door.
They were like they
name.
said if they could. Sue me if they wanted to.
Yeah,
for a number of things.
Whatever.
Like confusion and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I wasn't even tied to Emma of all trades. It was just what I was doing. Like my dad asked me to be if I wanted a table at a craft show that he was doing
you're like,
what
could I?
And I was like, what? It's in 2 days. Like, what? I need to name myself.
This.
And then it just kind of stuck for a while. And then when I went to do the LLC, they were like, you have to come up with a new name. And I was like, that's fine. I just got to figure it out.
Oh, well, that's good that you were kind of okay with it.
No, that is good.
I feel like if that was me, I would have had a heart attack.
Yeah. I mean, but like you had like...
Especially now, we do need... That's something we need. We talked about a while ago.
We talked about that.
But it's just like, did you do that so you could? I assume so you could make money through it and make it a bit like. Was that a hard process and stuff like that at all? Or like, did it take you a while?
No, I did it through someone. I like.
Gotcha. You had like an intermediary,
and it took like the corresponding and stuff took a while. Yeah. Like if I did it my own. It probably would have been a little bit faster.
Sure,
it took a couple months, but it was because of the name change and stuff that caused the problem. So, like, if you wanted to LLC or do whatever, some sort of business with Delco Nerd Network, I'm sure it would be.
We looked into copywriting it.
That's the same. Yeah, we really should. Because I think honestly I don't remember. I feel like we just started looking into it and we never really kept going with it, or it was a lot of money or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember like. Because it was still when we were pretty early on.
Yeah.
And we were like,
very early
now
on.
I feel like that is probably something we really should do. You know, hey, no one fucking copyright our name.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And,
and then like we have to buy it. Like we'd have to, that would suck.
To buy it out.
That's
but again, we're not really even making money through this yet or anything. So it's really, this is kind of our hobby technically at this point.
It would definitely not be a business.
Yeah.
We're not generating profit.
Yeah, but copywriting would be a good idea. Yeah. Just something that you can be like, if anyone decides to try and steal your name.
Fuck with us,
that's
good to know.
Someone really wants to piss us off.
Yeah, just some asshole.
It's hard. Like, you have your domain for your website. Did you buy that? Or
yes.
So we, are we renting it? Like, how does that, because we go through Squarespace.
Okay, that's what I go through.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We own,
I think we own then Delco, yeah, no one else could use that,
Right.
Yeah, I tried to get House of Me, that's why my website has to be like at home with Elm.
Yeah.
Because House of Me,
a lot.
House of Me, the domain is taken.
Yeah.
So is the Instagram, but it's not used by anyone.
That's so frustrating. It's just people.
That's the worst.
That's honestly
It's so
that can be a big deal.
I called. I tried to put in bids. It was like $3,000 to just get the domain name for the website, and I was like, I don't.
It's a chunk of change,
that's
but not too
much.
But I was like, do I want to do this? And I was like, whatever. Like, especially at the time, I was like, it's not.
There was no
maybe
other way
later,
to shorten it either. Yeah, like that.
I was like.
That's frustrating because you want it to be as obviously as easy to find you as possible, so you want people to just type in the same thing everywhere.
But
so
even
I can
if
see
I
how that'd be
got the
frustrating.
domain, then I couldn't get the Instagram because the Instagram was taken by some girl in like Sweden or something.
God damn it!
And
The Swedes
hasn't been used since like 2016, and I like tried to like reach out
them.
to Instagram and reach out to them, and I couldn't, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm wasting way too much time.
No, I understand.
Doing this, so.
Well, other than that, I do want to start one other. I guess we should just start here base. What do you do over at House? I mean, obviously we've kind of got into it. Yeah,
that's exactly. I was like, let's take a step back.
Yeah. I guess I classify myself as a maker.
Okay.
Because I'm not like a woodworker. Like that would be giving myself way too much credit. There's like amazing woodworkers that
really
do. Yeah, I
like
I
are
work
there
with
like
wood.
would there be like a certification that you would go through then you would feel more, or is it like or is that like would you be considered a carpenter, or like would that be even
I don't know. Yeah, because I guess maybe because I don't have any like
classical certifications or whatever. Yeah.
Like I didn't go to school. I just I don't know.
You did
I feel weird.
No, yeah.
I feel weird being like I'm a woodworker. I'm a carpenter. Like,
Really?
But I work with wood. I do.
I think this table would argue otherwise, but I'm sorry. Continue.
With wood.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a difference. And then I do. I don't know. A lot of signage. A little bit of everything and anything that anyone wants.
I love it. Like art projects and stuff, right? I mean, you did those freaking maps for Gooch too. Those things are. Have you shown them before?
On the podcast?
No, I guess you talked about them, but no, I was just like
on the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, yeah, so I mean, those things are awesome. Like stuff like that is really
it's fun.
cool.
I just like try and keep it open so I can just like a way to be creative, like find new avenues.
Right, because I just came to you and I'm like,
yeah.
this is what I want to do something, but like I don't even know like what do I fucking call
here's
this?
maps. Yeah, and
like,
they're my favorite projects. Like this, like projects like I want something done. I don't necessarily know what. You figure
this
it out.
This is my basic idea,
fun.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just have fun and be creative. And
Can I tell you something Jack told me?
Oh God.
So
I'm really
I was
nervous.
with Jack a few
We
weeks
might
ago.
have to cut that. No.
Oh, I forgot you were playing with the flamethrower.
Yeah, so I was over to play with the flamethrower, which didn't work.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll have to have you back. I'm like,
It's
dude,
like just
totally
an excuse
fine.
to hang out with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was so you do a lot of cornhole boards, or you did.
Yes.
So he told me that you, and I don't know if this is like me kind of like getting this out, and it's not public knowledge, but did you? He said you stopped doing like the cornhole boards because like I guess you were doing too many, which makes sense.
Yeah, I do. Like I'm actually. After this, I'm gonna go finish the cornhole.
Also, I did have another now. Okay.
Yeah, no, and like I just was like doing so many cornhole that I was like, this is.
It's tough.
It's
you're churning it out.
Yeah, and I can't charge for the amount of time that it takes for all the artwork. It's not the
that
building
makes total
of
sense.
The cornhole that like I could literally do that with my eyes closed at this point. It's just it's simple, but the
art
the
takes
design,
time. Yeah, when you're actually you're hand painting everything.
Yeah,
I mean that's insane.
Lot.
Like
it takes so long, and like I so appreciate. That's where really this sort of took off. So like I can't have any. Like hatred towards the cornhole, they got me. But, and like anyone, like I'm so appreciative of everyone that has ordered cornhole, and if people want cornhole, I just don't advertise them because I'm like
You want to do other shit.
Understandable.
And I'm not a woodworker. I'm not a painter. Like
I was gonna say that seems like the most not even tedious might not be the right word, but like. Time consuming. I mean, you're doing just fresh art. Even just doing this, I could imagine was probably a lot of time.
When I came over,
you want to get it straight.
You were painting a bunch of, I think it was soccer club logos on a board. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. That one was it's so fun, but it's like it was basketball. All of the teams he was on, which is amazing, and it's so cool to have custom cornhole boards.
Yeah.
And like be able, like that's what the coolest part about. Well, I don't know. That's what I think is part of the cool aspect of ordering something is that like it's so personalized and custom, and I'll do like try and make it exactly what are you thinking, or just come up with a unique, different idea.
Absolutely.
And so that's great, and I love that, but it just is so time consuming.
It's weird. I can imagine even like, I don't know, maybe something, this is just a stupid, simple example, but putting together a table might be easier sometimes than painting a full freaking 2 boards.
Just like the monotonous.
And even like, I don't know, I draw, but like I use pencils. I don't usually use a lot of like permanent stuff. So I could not imagine trying to draw like and paint stuff, and like, you got to be very on it. I could only, that's tough.
Yeah. And like, I feel like also like someone else could also paint, like it's,
for sure.
Anyone else could do this, really.
Could do the
art,
It's
just like the design that I came up with, or like the combination of painting it and then the cornhole. That's like why you're coming to me. So I'm just like, I'll do them. I love them. I love anyone who orders anything from me or supports me in any way. Like, truly cannot just like express how grateful I am for that. So I can't be like, oh my God, but I am like, oh my God.
It's understandable. For real.
But like, if you wanted a cornhole, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
Like, of course, here's your cornhole. Yeah.
But like, I just like, I'm like trying to steer away, like do other things and like try new stuff.
That's totally reasonable.
And
that makes total sense.
It's not like on your site, you have like, here's the things that I do, and you can buy cornhole or this or that. Like, everything I've come to you with, which is 3 things, has been like, I'm just gonna give you the idea. It's not something you do it? Yeah. It's not something I know you did or done before. Like, I know like the table was like the first. I remember you told us it was like the first time you'd ever done anything like this.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm like, who is
asking
ever
for
heard of anything like it's just so cool, and that's what I love. You're like, hey,
well, and it was funny.
Can we take this apart and
like,
yeah, that was the big thing. It had to come apart.
Gooch, I still remember when we were like talking, we were like, how are you going to do this? Because like we said, we need to put it away. We need to do all these things. We're like, could Emma do something like this? And you fucking nailed it. I know what you're saying.
It makes me so happy that my name even pops in your brain.
Absolutely.
To be like, oh my gosh, let's see if she can do it. And I'm always like, I can't promise you, but I would love to try.
Absolutely. And that was all we were looking for. We're like, if you can, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. And again,
the podcast table was definitely a worthwhile investment on our part. Like,
I would call it podcast changing. Life-changing, if you will.
Well, that makes me so happy.
I think it does give us, like I was saying, like before we started recording, like we have like I've never seen anything like this before, and it's not like I got the idea just because it's like I listen to a ton of podcasts where they have a professional podcast table, and it's like, you know, it's obviously like one person didn't fucking make this thing. It's made in a factory somewhere, and it has a cool TV on the front, and it's, you know, it's a production, it's a studio table, whatever. But obviously we're not going to order something like that because it's like thousands and thousands of dollars.
And then it has this, it's stationary, just
absolutely
right here. And
that's very true, and it's just like, you know, we like, you know, like, could we get something made? And then you, like, I'm trying to think where you were with like your business at that point.
Like, how long have we had this
like
for?
You were established, but it was still like early on, I think, right? Yeah. Because that was
I feel
like
like
a year and a half ago.
I'm still in the infancy of, it's been a couple years of doing this, and like maybe 2 of it like as my full-time job.
Wow.
But I still feel like it's still, I'm in like behind my grandparents' house in their barn. It's just like, it's just cool. Very small steps.
It is I mean, hey, it's a small, it's a true small
building.
business. Really. And it's so cool to see.
And I'm so grateful to have that space. I would not be able to do this without having the barn. So I'll take what I can get. Like,
I like it.
Just be happy where I am and not like push anything too hard. Just like keep trucking along. So you definitely reached out. It was very early on.
Yeah.
And so like for the trust of being like, you just started this, and
no problem. Come on. Are you kidding me? All the stuff you were posting at all times looked amazing. It was we had no doubts. But like, I'm actually just curious, like, how did this start? Like, how did you get like what?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Did you was this like your hobby, and then you kind of were like, I can actually like make some stuff and like help and make some shit for people. Like, did it just kind of roll into it?
I feel like it started when I was young, like just watching. So I always say that my mom and dad are very creative people. My dad's like never hired anyone to do anything in our house. He's always like, him and my papa are like, we'll figure it out. Like every weekends to me, growing up, were like them working on something in the house.
Sure.
Like the smell of like a Pazlo gun.
Yeah.
coming, like the smell. Have you ever smelled that? It's like a very distinct, like sawdust and a nail gun.
Okay.
It releases like this smell from the filter or whatever the heck that's in it.
Okay.
So it's just like when I think of that, like the hammering of a hammer and stuff. So they were always doing stuff themselves. There was like, we can figure it out. They're very hands-on people. So that was a very long-winded way of saying I've always been around it. My mom, I've never purchased a card like for anything. We always made birthday cards cards for this. So like it was always making things with your hands. Something from your hands and your heart's more important than something purchased. Like
absolutely.
So that's just what we grew up doing that. Like even it was like a painted rock that we gave my dad for his birthday, or like we always made birthday banners to hang on the door instead of birthday cards like purchased from a store. Sure. Not to say that a birthday card's
I get it. We're plebs and we're terrible.
There's no problem with Walmart, right?
Yeah, no, seriously. But that's just something like I, to this day, just still make cards. Like you're getting a handmade wedding card.
No,
like,
that makes sense.
You're getting like,
it really does.
Oh man,
like
I would. Next time you do that, I would love to see what that looks like.
they're not. They're just little cards.
I write on the entire card of a wedding card. With every wedding I go to, I'm like, I'll buy it, but I write something very personal. I'm like, because this, I'm like, maybe not birthdays, like, it depends on the event, but like with a wedding card, I'm fucking like, this is gonna be like emotional.
Yeah.
From the heart.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's like, when am I supposed to sign it? Congrats, Gooch.
It's so fun. There have been some cousins I've been to that you just don't know very well, and then you're just like, how we'll say the best, but no, for sure, I totally understand that too.
Yeah,
definitely.
especially with like close friends. I'm like,
oh, definitely.
I gotta divulge some tears. And
well, and it's like, especially when they're close friends, like you're with them a lot, whatever. But there's not many moments that you find yourself like saying all the things that you truly feel or mean, except for when they're getting married and you writing it in a card.
Occasion
that so that's really special too. It doesn't matter that it was
I started keeping
$5.99 for a card
recently too.
Oh yeah,
for that exact reason. Like especially cards that are like written in. I'm like, I should probably keep this.
Yeah.
Like just like in a bag. Like don't need to look at them, but like maybe in like 20 years, that's like me selling my games, like my PS2 games 20 years ago, and that being the biggest regret of my life. Literally,
which is the same as sentimental cards from weddings and stuff.
They're on the same level.
Like I should not have gotten rid of these. Like,
no, I agree with you on that. 100%.
What was I doing? Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Sorry, total.
No, that's
divergence.
You're totally fine.
That's awesome. So and then then that just leaded into you just being like, I'll just start making some stuff and see where it goes.
So then it went into like, always making like gifts for like something for my like painting a canvas for my grandma for Mother's Day or something, and like just like slowly going in. And we spent a lot of time in the barn because that's my pop-up has a hammer for every one of his 6 grandkids, like all like tools, like so whatever you needed while they were working on something, it was in the barn, and you were always in the barn grabbing stuff. He was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force, and then worked in parts for cars. Like he was in a couple different like Volkswagen. So like my love for Volkswagens came from him working at Volkswagen. He had when my dad was growing up, they had like every rendition of the Volkswagen bus.
Oh my god, that was probably sick. Yeah,
dude, it's crazy.
Oh my god.
So
amazing.
Just always around the barn, always like do it yourself type people.
Yeah, get it done. I love it.
Yeah. So then I was
roll up your sleeves.
Seared into like always interested in. I can't sit still.
Sure.
Like I said, like if I'm sitting still, I'm like, what am I doing? What do I do? And then I waste the whole time like being like, what should I do?
So we didn't know each other in high school.
No.
And you graduated then.
We were,
we were
like,
to Marple together.
was like one of my best friends.
Absolutely.
2013, 2014.
2014s, yeah. It's almost 10 years.
Were you artsy in school?
I gotta plan the reunion.
Were you artsy in school?
Yeah, but not. I didn't take like. Did we have a?
We might have had.
We probably ceramics together.
We might have.
I
think we did. Was Vanessa
awesome.
in there with us too? Yeah, I think it was like all.
Were you like one of the? Yeah, it's like, were you one of those kids in Miss John's class?
No, I actually
there all the time?
I always did it like on my own and like in the way of like my whole like collaged my whole wall in my room and like would paint quotes or like murals and stuff like in my friend's bedroom or like doodle a lot. Like I took 2 ceramics classes and then I took I wish I could have taken more art classes, but they never fit in my schedule for some reason. And then I took one drawing class with Winterbottom. And it was just like the very the very intro to drawing, like. Yeah. I don't even know. It wasn't even drawing. Like, I know you probably took like a cartoon class. I think there was like,
that's right, the cartooning class. Sure I remember that.
But it was just like basic. You did like random types of drawing, like with different mediums. So I wish I was never in like the art scene in high school. It was always like on my own.
I feel like I actually have a similar circumstance because like even though I'm into like production and stuff, I never was like one of those like
in the theater.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, high school was kind of a weird time for me.
It's a weird time for
I was gonna say,
my parents are getting divorced and it was like pretty fresh. So I'm not sure like how much was like I didn't do because of that.
Yeah.
But like I was not involved in a lot of things. I golfed in high school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Were you on the golf
they had a golf team.
Really?
Yeah.
I forget we had a golf team sometimes, to be honest.
I mean, most people did. But like I didn't do theater. I didn't do like we didn't have like the TV stuff at that point. They did my freshman year.
I think the last year because I took that. I remember it was like a class. We all did it by the end. Miss I can't remember her name, but yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, but it's like that's not something I was involved in at all. I wasn't known for that. Instead I was home, and then one day I got a capture card, and I decided I was going to like play a video game, record it, and then do commentary over it. And I was doing that on my own.
Yeah, that's really cool that you found it. It stinks that like there wasn't a community around it.
I mean, there was, but
it was burgeoning like, for sure. It was definitely early days.
I wouldn't say early YouTube, but like
still somewhat. I would agree. Like when was that? 20. When was that, Gooch? Would you say
2010, 2011?
Yeah, that's still probably pretty early. Like you're not like YouTube started in like 2009.
I'm trying to think of like what was happening. Like shoes. Like that's like
shoes was early YouTube. That was like probably 2006. Like I remember watching that when it first came out.
Like when I think of early YouTube,
but like
or like Blood Muffin,
Star Wars Muffin. Yeah, but like not even early YouTube, but early gaming YouTube.
Right.
There's like people were now like uploading gameplay and doing commentary and let's plays were a thing, and I kind of like that's kind of like how I started, but again had nothing to do with school. Wasn't doing that in school.
Outside.
Probably not something a lot of people knew I did unless I like talked about it.
Were you very quiet?
No.
Gooch wasn't quiet.
No, I've never been quiet.
Gooch quiet?
No.
What?
Yeah, which is funny because like,
I just didn't know. Like you didn't know because you were like.
I have very introverted hobbies. Like, stereotypically introverted, and I thought I was introverted for a while because of
maybe you're an introverted extrovert. Like you're just like.
Ever think about that?
No.
Or reversed, an extroverted introvert.
Like I don't like. It's very rare where like my social battery will drain. I'm trying to think where it actually happened like recently. I'm trying to think.
Didn't you say at the expo?
The panel.
Oh, which was amazing.
Thank you.
Gooch killed it.
I don't want to.
Trio will be there next year.
Absolutely. No, it was good stuff.
Thank you.
So cool.
That socially, I was so spent after that. I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
I want to use my voice ever again.
And then I went out to dinner that night and talked. I didn't
you
do that
took
at
10
all.
minutes to yourself. You went back. You went.
And then the battery was recharged.
I literally sat there for 30 minutes and didn't say a word and was like thinking about how the fact I didn't want to say a word, and then I was fine.
But then that was also on top of it, like probably some anxiety of like having to speak in front. I know you speak in front of people like here all the time.
Sure,
like,
but this is different.
But
it really
is like a sea of people that you're looking out to. You had to prepare stuff and
for sure.
And like people were looking at you for information and expertise and stuff
just having everyone look at you on stage is always fun. I still remember
I'd cry.
And it's so funny, I was sitting there and like during the panel and I immediately was like, I'm not sitting here, and like got up. I paced around and like I just didn't feel comfortable too.
No, absolutely.
Like we're used to like the table.
It would have been different if I was there because it would have just been us two sitting at the table.
See, I don't think I would have done it.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Yeah. We would have just been sitting down normally.
This whole stage was mine, so I'm like, I just picked this mic up.
I'm trying to think. The only time I've ever done.
Just like leaned right into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was on it. The only time I've ever really been on stage like that before, I'm trying to think, was the variety show when I emceed with that year. Which we only that was such a shit show because they were all freaked out about the year before. Yeah. After that was right after I think it was right after when they did the whole, like, they talked about the girl in the fridge and stuff. So, yeah, they were all, like, everything we were doing was, like, under a microscope and, like, you can't say that. But it still ended up being fun. But, yeah, that was probably the closest thing.
Yeah, I mean, I cheered and I was on a stage in front
right.
of...
Did you know my sister
I totally
cheerleading?
used to cheer.
No, but I keep seeing her videos and her doing...
That's why she tumbles.
I was like, it's awesome that she still does it. And is doing really well.
Because I was like...
I watch them all the time.
It was like years later that she started doing that again. Because she was in cheerleading even before high school.
Yeah, it's hard to do, like, as an adult.
Were you a flyer?
For her, yeah.
Yeah.
Being thrown
Small
around.
girls are the flyers.
But like
Gooch knows his cheering.
Yeah. Well versed in the cheer
I know
world.
My cheerleading.
He's watched
All
Fired
the
Up.
cheer celebrities. Yeah. No, yeah, like I was on stage for cheerleading, but like when it comes to like I don't know. I think it was
to everyone being
it was like I had a routine that I was doing. I knew exactly what was happening. I could perform that, but like speaking in front of people, I waited till the absolute last semester of college to take public speaking, which people take the first semester.
I think I took that pretty late.
It's an awkward class.
Yeah.
Even for me, I found it awkward.
And like would just panic. Like I was like, how do I graduate college without having to take this class?
I know.
How can I speed my way?
Do you know where that's? At least I read this online, so it's definitely true. But do you know where that comes from?
For sure, true.
Apparently,
you read an article.
Supposedly, it's like because
all colleges have to have public speaking.
Exactly. Oh, when we were evolving, I guess, like or back in the day, like in like early times, if you were getting put in front of people, you were being put on trial usually.
Yeah.
So usually, like that, like there's almost this innate fear in us that we're like. We've been like evolutionarily grown to be like, I don't want to be in front of big crowds because I'm afraid something bad's gonna happen to me. But I don't know if that's how true that is, but that's apparently like where that behavior comes from. Yeah, like you're either on trial in front of everyone or you're gonna be executed.
And I know,
not good stuff. Like say your piece, and if you're wrong, you're gonna die. You perish.
Emma, I know for your business, you do like I don't know if they're technically like you have tables at things like I don't know what kind of events.
They're like a maker's market.
Right.
So like you do kind of have to like
flea market
type
stuff or
network.
I'm not good at it.
Really?
Yeah, like I bet it's kind of weird.
It's weird. So the only
it's not really what we do.
No, for sure.
The first time I did it was like when I first started. My dad was like, "Hey, do you want a table? You've been making a lot of gifts. Like he does something for work."
Yeah.
And that was years and years ago, and I did that, and then I did one more like. In that spring, it was like November and then April or March or something, and then I hadn't done them in so long, and then just like meeting people through Instagram and stuff in the community of like makers and whatnot. There's a woman who, Sean Wakely.
Oh yeah.
Was doing a lot of jewelry.
Oh, that's cool.
And she made really really cool jewelry. I don't know if she still makes it, but she's doing a lot of interior design stuff, which is incredible. She reached out and was like. We did like a little collab together, and I cut up
that's awesome.
Pieces of wood for her to make the jewelry, and then her friend from college, her sister makes pottery, and so she does a ton of markets and stuff like that, and they were gonna host one in their friend's like big huge empty barn, and they're like, "Do you want to come?" And I'll come and just sell stuff because most of my stuff's custom, like made to order, but I was like, I would like to get into selling more things, things like ideas that I have and sell.
Right, you can make something that you have like ready for those events. Yeah.
And so they, Julie Miller Pottery is her name. She does incredible work. I love her. She's so great. So then we did that, and then she wanted to have. She lives right behind Valley Forge.
Okay.
And so there's like a little lane, and there's big open area where she's like, I want to host my own maker's market, and so she does a maker's market around Christmas.
That's awesome.
Every year, and then I just start doing that. So that's the one I do yearly. I would like to eventually get into do more, but so I didn't even put myself out there. People reached out to me.
That's awesome.
Cool.
But being at the markets, I feel like I'm so bad at it. I'm like,
it's tough.
Well, at conventions.
I'm like, this is just what I make.
Yeah,
and
do you want it? No, it's fine if you don't.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I know. Like,
I don't like it either.
Yeah. Like, I should just light it on fire. Like,
at video game
throw
conventions, like artists, whether it's just like they're selling whatever they make, or like comic books, or they're like an independent label or something like that. Like it's like you know, we've walked by plenty of them. It's like getting, like, people have to get somebody to, like, come to their table, and then you, like, engage them in conversation, or maybe you're talking about something you worked on, or maybe you're not. You're just talking about some random thing. As, like, somebody walks by, and you're like, hi.
Yeah, you have to be very charismatic.
And,
like, be able to sell yourself
and
without
you don't want to
looking
step
like
over.
you're... Right. And I'm just not good at it. I'm like, I would like to be...
No, it's tough because you gotta. You're partly selling, but then you also are just making the stuff. So you're like, all right, I want this stuff to be good. I didn't realize now I have to actually go out and talk to people.
And I don't want to push anything on anyone.
Exactly.
Like I don't know. It's like
very
this complex
understandable.
to have.
We've probably told this a bunch of times on the podcast, but we were at like one of the Philly Comic-Cons, and one of the guys who did like concept art for the Flash TV show was there, and he had like stuff there, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This guy pulls it out, and he's like, I'm like, oh, I might buy this. It was like a $60 print. And he's like talking about it. He's like, yeah, we can get you framed up for an extra $120. This, that. And he starts going off. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'm good.
Yeah,
and like he like talked me out of the sale.
Oversold it.
Like I was like,
started throwing.
Honestly, it's overwhelming.
It's so funny because like he had me.
Wasn't involved in the sale.
He lost me. Yeah. It's just so funny.
And we walked away, and I'm like, I cannot believe that just happened. Like he had you. And then just totally lost it.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
I'll throw in like two more prints. And I'm like, holy shit.
I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And then he's like, yeah, if you want to get them framed, it's an extra $240. I'm like, oh, I got to frame these? That's going to be a lot of money.
I'm just going to go to Michael. But you're like, I want to support you, but
like,
you're overwhelming me.
And now, exactly. And I was just like, I'll think about it. Because I just was like, that's a lot of money. Because if I want to buy these, I want to hang them right. And then it's like,
yeah, and it's hard. And I just want, like, I appreciate anyone just walking up to my booth and like taking a second to look at my stuff. So it's not like, of course I want you to buy my things, but it's not like buy my shit. Like it's just like, thank you for taking a moment and acknowledging my work. Like that means more to me than anything else. Like
that's amazing. That's really what it's
not
about.
a good business model.
No, but
we were just having a conversation on Instagram DMs about this.
You said some of the kindest words ever. You are good with words. Can't wait for my wedding card.
I'm trying to think how it started, but we were talking about like, you know, it's something about like the TikToks and the videos you post. And it's like it is very you. Like it's not like
doesn't feel fake.
Right.
Yeah,
and I was talking about us. It's like we post
clips
genuine. Of the podcast, and it is kind of like. I guess it's genuine. It's
no, like, you're just taking out parts of our.
It's what you're saying. You're not flipping
there's a I'm trying to use it to promote our stuff, and you were kind of like saying like, I don't really like that, but I'm like, but like what you do is promoting your stuff. You're just not really like conforming to this like.
You're not like here buy this. That's the great.
Yeah, and I never.
You're being genuine about the way you present yourself in your business.
I don't like. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't look at other people when they're promoting their stuff and be like, oh, I can't believe it. Like,
I'm so
sure you don't. I know you're better than them.
No, like I want to be. I just something in me I can't do it. Like,
no, that's understandable.
Of course, you want to promote yourself. Of course, you want to put this thing on Instagram and say it's for sale and like post it all the time and like, oh, I offer this package. I offer this, whatever.
Right.
And like I will always support everyone else. Like I want them.
100%.
I just can't get myself to do. I'm so bad at Instagram that I write down every day on my to-do list like post on Instagram.
No, it's true.
And I don't do it. And then I'm like, I haven't posted in 3 months. Like, are you kidding me?
I wouldn't say you're bad at it because I don't think you are. I think the stuff you like again, the videos you do are very you. You're not going out of your way to like conform to the I need to post on Instagram once a day to get myself out there, and it's like. Churned shit.
Churning through the content.
And
you're posting for the posting's sake, not because you want to.
Yeah. It's the only way with Instagram. Like I'm sure you guys have a hard time with it too.
Oh,
like
it's
so difficult. And that's why I don't want to be in my photos, but I gotta take photos of myself because the only way my stuff gets on someone's feed maybe is if there's a person in it and like the algorithm reads that there's a human being and I'm like,
it's so true. It's all these little things. Like we used to use a ton of hashtags and then I was like, wait, we got to cut these back because apparently after so many
7
and even getting on TikTok and it was funny, Matt was actually I think Matt challenged me to do more with the clips.
Matt's awesome
on the podcast.
He is awesome on that
because he blew up on TikTok and that like friend of the show Matt Penza was like you should go on TikTok and I was very I think we talked about it and you weren't forceful about it but it was just something like I don't want to dive into this pool but it was kind of hard to argue with the exposure.
I was the same exact way
and our algorithm does seem to put like do a good job of putting just random people in front of people instead of like Instagrams where it does seem to just be only like the most like I don't know, I see stuff from like Xbox and like so like big companies always pop up for, and then I gotta click through my following thing to see the. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, really I miss half the people that like I
actually follow.
Like,
you wouldn't even. You're like, this person posted 3 pictures. I had no idea.
Yeah,
what's going
exactly.
on.
Yeah, but that makes me happy. I just want it to be authentic.
Absolutely.
And my captions are like little journal diaries.
That's good. No, that's
like, just like cool. Blast off, and I'm like, post whatever. I don't even know what I said in that, but
yeah, right. Because it's like you don't post like, you know, I don't. Do you post everything you make? Probably not.
No.
Right? Yeah.
No. I just lost all my drafts I had, and that wasn't even all of the things.
Wait, it was that the post?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even like they weren't even all the things that I made, but I had 130 plus drafts. That I don't know what happened. I think Instagram updated, and I went to go post, and they were gone. And they all, it's my fault because first of all, I should just post. Second, I should write my captions not in Instagram. I should put them in my notes and then copy and paste them. For the chance that they could just toodaloo one day.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they did. They just vanished, and I was like, whatever. It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
But that is the point of drafts. That makes sense. That's using it to like the correct. Reason.
No,
I don't use drafts at all. Well, no, I probably should.
Well, again, ours because we like with ours, we can only post what we're getting within the next week. So you're handing me stuff. Whereas you guys get like you can probably kind of can some stuff for a while.
I end up like not
still
posting.
Relevant.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, my TikTok. I was very reluctant to get on TikTok as well, and I was like, oh.
Here we go.
I guess I'll do it. And then I don't even I didn't post for like a whole year, and then I just post. What's funny is my stupid ass TikToks. Sorry, am I allowed to?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
I already cursed a couple times, and I'm like, shit.
You're good.
But of me, everyone always comments because I dress like an idiot half the time. Like I just wear whatever I want.
That's not true.
And I just put whatever on, and I'm comfy, and I don't care, and it's just like goofy.
Quick sidebar: I saw you one night out at a bar, and I didn't even recognize you until I saw you posted a picture because you had your hair. You were at.
Was my hair down?
It was down. I was literally like you were at in Conshohocken.
Was it like Great American
Pub?
No
and I
way,
walked by you, and then I saw you post, and it was funny because I was like, hey, Emma. And then I walked out, and I saw you post like a picture
so
later.
Sad.
It's all right. It was just so funny because I was like, you looked so. Because the last time I saw you before that, you had your hair up when you brought over the table.
Always in a hat.
So it was wild. I was like, Superman could work. I think he could. Like I don't know because I wouldn't. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sidebar you so hard there. It was just so funny.
I'm so bummed that I didn't see you. That would have been a fun
night. This was like a few years ago. I remember.
This was like last year, I think. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember like I think I saw Emma. And I'm like, really?
Dang it, I'm bummed. Like we could have hung out.
It was just so funny.
No, that is funny. Yeah, because first of all, my hair's never ever done. And it was short for so long.
Yeah.
So
that's absolutely what got me.
Yeah, and I'm always in a hat or like a baseball hat or a beanie or like a bandana in my hair. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. Superman
it's just
could
so
wear
funny.
it.
I was like, I get it. All right, yeah.
But
I wish I could kind of less give a shit. Like I just said with my hair, I'm very pretentious about my hair.
No, I understand.
To an unhealthy level.
That's not to say I don't have like intense anxiety about many other things.
It just goes different places for everyone.
Yeah. Manifesting
for sure.
It's just what I wear is the one thing that I don't.
I love the overalls look.
Absolutely.
It's comfortable. I put it on. I feel most me in them.
Absolutely.
Like in a hat.
Yeah,
and I just
important.
I just want to wear them and work, and I feel like I'm my most
it seems
genuine
very
self.
appropriate to me. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm like swiping
house of me,
all
house
the
to
time.
be.
Yeah, it's my home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the TikTok that blew up, that's what I was talking about. Everyone always comments when I post pictures of like, what the heck are you wearing right now? Like, you look insane. And my parents are always
working
like,
too.
Yeah. Well, I also
you're in
go
the
out.
barn.
You're going right to the bar after.
But so I was like, everyone always comments on them. So like, I'm just gonna take a video of everything I wear, like
that's
over
great,
a weekend, and that's the one that blew up. Blow
up
is like maybe
business.
1,000, yeah.
But still,
that's the one that everyone loved the most. Is me just like standing there and like putting my leg up like a flamingo and be like, "This is what I'm wearing," and it's like just ridiculous clothes.
It's good stuff. It really is.
And so it's just funny what TikToks.
What hits
decides.
Yeah.
Like I could stand here and show you all the things that I made, and it's not going to be seen by anyone but me being like, "This is my derpy outfit for the day."
Yeah, we had the same kind of thing. I posted like
Wasn't our Spider-Man one
our
or something?
fucking Journey to the Center of the Earth podcast?
Yeah, we have 5,000 views on that for some reason. I don't know why.
We got a friend of Brendan Fraser's in that movie.
I love the phrase "friend of the pod." It's my favorite.
Friend of the pod.
We got in front of the Fraser Renaissance.
I feel like we were just at the beginning of it, like literally,
The Fraser second Rewind review was just movies with Brendan Fraser in it. We called it the Fraser-thon.
That's amazing.
And Journey to the Center of the Earth, like a goofy kids movie.
Probably
is our most viewed podcast.
5,000 people. I don't know why. Then also John Wick popped off for some reason, and so did the Hogwarts one. But I don't know. It's weird.
Legacy?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But
no, we don't. Hey, we're not arguing.
No explanation.
It's just funny. Like, why that one? What did that do? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's just like I think just like. Whatever
timing, something
just like the way things align.
Absolutely, and there isn't a lot of Journey to the Center of the Earth content. We
realize.
No. So I
shockingly enough.
Shockingly enough. But so I did have, I think, one more question for you, unless you had something else too. What was like your favorite project you've made so far, and why was it our table? No, I'm kidding. But like, what besides our table? I canned that right up. I had that pre-written. I'm glad.
That to me.
I don't care if that's a fake laugh. I'll take
it.
I'm like that's
because I was like, let me think. And why was our table? I should have known that you were going into that.
No, we've talked enough about the table. What else? No. Like, what else? Like, what can you think of? Like, you're like, wow, that was like a lot. It was challenging, maybe, but fun. And I know I'm putting you on the spot.
No,
here,
you're okay. So one thing that I did recently that I was totally out of my comfort zone. There's an ice cream shop, and I'll plug them too, Lou and Og's in Ardmore.
Awesome shout out.
You guys have to go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All right.
So good. They just opened in Ardmore, and they reached out to me and was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a mural for us? Oh. And I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So like we open, and so we designed it together. They were just like, we want an ice cream cone. We want it to be, have like a saying in it or around it. We like, there was a bunch of different iterations of it, but they're like, these are colors, whatever. We really want it to be like your work and like a collaboration. Like, so I was like, can we do it 3D?
Sure.
And they're like, absolutely. That's exactly what we want. It's an ice cream cone. It says what's cooler than being cool in it. Like,
that's cool. I like it.
And it's
what's cooler than being cool.
It was a process and a lot of fun and a challenge. Like I was terrified to do it. I've never done, like, especially it's in a business. They're trusting me. It's out for everyone to see all the time.
They just found you too?
Huge.
They're
actually from their kids go. Their son went to Pius. I think he's going to Marple now. Their daughter's at Marple.
Got it.
They live right off of Cedar Grove Road.
And they just said,
they're like close by. So they're like literally in my backyard.
That's so cool.
And so it's awesome that they're so local. But they reached out in like November and were like, hey, this is whatever, and then we got it up and they finally opened in July.
Wow.
And it was a lot of fun.
That's great.
And I think it was like the biggest thing I've ever done. So
it was just
like,
you were just painting. It was just a mural, or like did you do?
No,
3D
I cut it out. So like
okay, you did.
I cut everything out with a scroll saw. So that's what that's why I was like, I want it. They're like, we want it to be you. I was like, I would love to do it with like cut out
that
3D
makes sense.
because that's the stuff that I do. So it's all cut out. It's like 6 feet tall, and then there's stripes like along the whole wall, which is like 18 feet or something.
And you painted those stripes too, right?
Yeah, I cut the stripes and then painted the stripes.
Wow. So the stripes are 3D.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sure that we have to check this out. Yeah. So it's done.
It's done. It's up. They're open. Their ice cream's amazing.
What was it again? One more time. What was the name?
Lou and Og's.
Lou and Og's in Ardmore.
In Ardmore. Yeah, they opened the end of July.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're awesome people. They're so great.
That's fantastic.
They're just really cool people.
What was your timeline for it? Like, when did you start and when did you end?
So we reached out because they were just getting into it. The place wasn't even gutted yet.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So we met in November. Absolutely. I got to see the space, and then we met a couple times throughout. And then like originally because building and like getting things approved and stuff like that, and
takes time.
Things go wrong. So they were originally hoping to open in the spring, but then it didn't end up till July. So I had it up in May. It took like the actual time it took for me to do it was like a full week, I guess. I filmed the whole, like most of the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And it was like hours and hours just to make one stupid little TikTok.
I can only imagine.
I think I spent 8 hours like picking out clips from it to be able to put it all together just like for a little TikTok. But I I would say once we got down to like the nitty gritty of like the timeline of, okay, this is what we're doing, this is when we're starting, it was like a month.
Gotcha.
That's not bad. I could see something like that, like really like dragging out.
Well, and I guess depending on their like construction, what's going on over there.
What's going
on. So like
Oh,
the install was a morning. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good.
My dad was able to come help me. Thank God. I wouldn't have been able to like actually install it myself.
Right. Yeah.
But it was just like a couple hours. It was like 4 hours in the morning to actually install it. But it was fun. It was really cool to watch it come to life. Like go from an idea to like a bunch of different variations of a sketch, and then it be there on a wall and like in a business. Mm-hmm. It's wild. It's like something that I always wanted to do.
That's so
they
cool.
like they just made like one of my dreams.
Yeah, a little
Because
bucket list
they're really, really
check
cool.
off.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
like whoa.
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
It's kind
Emma.
of like surreal.
That's cool. Well, Gooch, anything else for Emma here?
Yeah, I did have one question.
Okay. I could chat with you guys all day.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah.
I was so nervous. I was like, I'm going to throw
You've
up.
been totally fine.
Yeah, I knew it
I'm
wasn't.
like, she's not
wasn't
gonna
be an issue.
No, I mean, you guys are my friends too, so that
Absolutely.
makes
No,
it,
it helped. That is the
it
big
makes
thing. If
it
you were coming in
better,
here and you
yeah.
didn't know us at all,
Yeah.
I could imagine
I'd be
that
like
too. Yeah.
quaking in my
what's going
boots,
on?
yeah.
So, like, I'm not sure if you have an answer for this, and don't feel like you have to have one. It's kind of like a bigger question.
Okay.
So, like, with your business and like, what is your next like big step? Do you think, or do you have one at all?
So I have this thing whenever I plan stuff, things don't work.
Sure,
I did it with
right.
high school, going to a different high school. I did it with college. I did it with my degree. I went back to college. I didn't really plan for House of Me to become House of Me.
Sure.
So I'm kind of like trying to balance the like let life take me where life takes me and things unfold and like whatever. And also like you kind of need some sort of plan and structure.
Of
so like
course.
my next step I think would be I would like to have collections, like you said, like have pieces, like I go to markets and sell stuff and have things that are just like my ideas that I create that people can buy.
Sure.
Right.
And then like some sort of digital stuff, like my like I doodle a lot, so just like little doodles, like as prints or things like that. So some sort of like passive, because everything I do takes a lot of time.
Absolutely.
So I'm only getting paid for when I'm working, you know, like
Of course.
time off is no money. Like
Yeah,
that's the
there's no
downfall.
PTO.
Like I'm my
Yeah.
own boss.
Do you take a lot of time off at all, or no?
It depends. It just like it really depends on how many
that makes
orders
sense.
are
Time
coming
of the
through,
year,
and just like I don't know if I could ever like have a boss. I'm not a great boss. I suck at being my own boss, but I don't like just having. It's a blessing and a curse.
Sure. Yeah.
Having structure is really nice. Like every day you're waking up, going to work at 8 o'clock or whatever time, and you're like, I'm done here, I'm done there. I'm hit or miss. Like sometimes I'm like on it, working all the time, but then I'm working too much, and then I'm like trying to find the balance of like, then I have to like really, really dig for motivation to get things done. Like it's a fine line of what works and what doesn't. But I forget the question now.
No, you answered it. It was like, what was your next step?
Yeah.
And I
having my own barn.
I'm like, I know the answer to
having
this,
my own barn and like building something
your
from
real
there.
own space. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Something that's me.
So I think I asked you this when I was there. I'm like, do you feel like you've like outgrown it?
Yeah, like
you just need more space.
Because it's not mine.
And that's
True.
the other thing.
I was gonna say, I'm like, it's also your grandparents.
It's different.
Pop-up isn't like it's amazing that my pop-up lets me be in there, and it's now really become my space. But it was his. He created that space, filled it with the things that he wanted to fill it with. So there's a lot of my tools in there. But there's also stuff that I'd like. Yeah, I just
you want a
would like
space
to have,
that is your own.
I feel like I'd be able to have more thoughts and creativity and ideas and stuff in a space that I have of my own.
That
so one day I would like to do that.
And maybe you don't. Obviously, you're probably not going to build your own barn.
Yeah, no.
That's like
that would be amazing.
That's much more than what
I would like to find a house, and have a
Yeah.
barn behind it, or somewhere like even if it was a place like media where I work in the back, and then
maybe a
have
little like
stuff
even a shed
out,
type.
Like, where people
like
can come
shed.
hang out, like and see stuff and. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
a
there's so
display
many different
space almost too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Space.
Yeah.
That's great.
Where like
Whatever
then
that
I can
means.
meet people like because I do a lot of weddings and stuff like that
you can
too.
bring
So
clients
it's space
in.
that people can come and
you can show
see
them what's
things
going
and,
on.
like,
and
then hang out there like whatever.
Yeah, it's not like I was thinking like especially in the case of like weddings where I guess like or like even seeing a house. Sometimes they have like show shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know why you would have like an extra thing that like hanging around.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, because weddings are so expensive, it's insane. A lot of people will rent from me, so then I can reuse or repurpose.
That's nice.
And it's so
that
it's like,
sense.
and then
that's cool.
And then what are you gonna do with your seating chart after the wedding? Like, what are you gonna hang it on your wall?
Where,
like,
I was like, wait,
half the time they're
what's probably
nasty.
rare with these seating charts? Did they just get rid of them?
I get like
you would assume
mostly,
so. Yeah.
I'm
trying. Always nice.
It's funny. I'm curious to ask what my brothers did with theirs.
Yeah, you should.
Like I would assume that they did. I'll report back. I would assume that they did return them or do something similar in that way.
Yeah, especially with the big ones, because weddings like are so grand now.
Right.
Like people really go all out and have like a lot of fun and like really make it who they are and like who they are as a couple and stuff, or like their style. So I have huge seating charts that are like bigger than me, and you're like, what are you gonna do? Or like backdrops and things like that. So a lot of times I'm like, you can rent this, and then I can repurpose it or reuse it for another seating chart and paint it a different color or do
that
whatever.
Makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
So I could have those, like, they're all just like in my grandparents' basement right now. It's like waiting to be used for the next weddings that are coming.
When did you recognize that sort of thing, that you could like rent, like you didn't have to just make one per person, you could like rent them? That's interesting. I would have never
I think I saw people rent, like when you're renting tables. It was a wedding for my cousin or something, and they were like renting the tables because they did it in this barn, and so they had to do the only thing that came with it was just the space. So they had to get like rent all the utensils, all the napkins and tables and chairs and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, oh, they're renting all of this, and then they give it back.
Sure.
And you're not purchasing 50 tables like
no, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
it's
so I was like, oh, I could just do that with seating charts. And then I started seeing, like, it's huge now. A lot, like, I'm not saying I started by any means.
No, for sure.
There's, like, and so I was seeing a lot of seating charts and people reaching out, like, things were getting, you weren't just writing seating charts on cards. So people were like, we want a seating chart that's cool and big and, like, a focal point. So it's like, I did originally start making them and people were buying them. But then I was like, that's so expensive. Like, I wasn't charging enough in the beginning.
Of course.
To start anyway. Yeah. But I was like, oh, if I'm charging appropriately, then it's going to be astronomical.
Yeah, you'll make much more money.
So,
if it's, but
not
that that's of course not the most important thing. But
no, but like I mean, for charging too much, people will not be as inclined to
that's true.
To buy them.
Yeah,
because you're like, okay, I'm paying for this for one night. Like this
wedding
night's
I'm not going to spend this money.
That's very true.
So I was like, I can just start renting them too, just like people rent other stuff.
It's so funny, like
then people are more inclined to buy.
You mentioned that, I'm like, oh yeah, duh, that of course you would do that. Like, but I wouldn't think of that for wedding stuff like that.
I saw it somewhere somehow
Makes so much
and
sense,
like just applied it to myself. Yeah, because then I'm huge into repurposing and adding, like giving something a new life and not just like wasting something. So
100%.
That's the perfect thing for something.
Yeah,
like obviously like pallet wood. I love pallet wood and doing stuff like that, or like and like. But not pallet wood so rustic looking, and so something that's like elegant, like a seating chart for a wedding, and also being repurposed. It's like best of both worlds. Yeah. With that. But,
I also so I do have one more. I lied. Has supply chain issues been a lot of
issues with
like that's what I thought
edge.
Like
I was gonna say, has that been
Yeah.
like relieving it all for you, or is it still like a big issue?
Let's talk about the economy.
No, because I'm genuinely curious, just because I don't get to talk to someone who has to deal with like stuff on a base level like this. Like, it's hard still.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's gotten a little bit better. It like fluctuates, but it's not been anywhere near what it was before COVID. Like. A sheet of plywood, like even just a sheet of plywood, so ridiculously expensive, or MDF or anything that I'm using to, everything's just so.
What is MDF?
MDF is just like it's really pressed.
A different kind of wood.
But yeah. It's like
a bunch of wood.
I use a lot. If I'm painting something, I use MDF. I I know exactly what
I probably know what it looks like.
It's really bad to inhale.
Well, you prefaced everything. You're not a woodworker yet, so that's fine.
Yes.
We can.
Not a woodworker.
Lots of not know everything. Yeah.
Just works with wood.
Not a worker.
Works with wood, but not a woodworker. That's actually fucking hilarious.
But everything's so expensive. Everything in general. Eggs are expensive now. So
I was just like, it's just everything's coming. Like you're saying, everything's coming in. So it's just, I was very curious as to how it sucks that it's still going.
Everything's so much. It's gotten better, and then it got worse, and it's gotten better and got worse. Like to the point where I'm like, I don't even.
You can only do what you can do.
I don't look at it. Yeah, and it's hard, and I never wanted to like up prices because I'm like, but then I have to. And
what do you mean? But then you don't make money.
Oh, I'm just so bad.
I know you don't want
to. So bad at it. Like I never question anyone else when they give me a price for anything.
Exactly.
No.
Panicking over.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I totally got it.
Yeah. It's just a people pleaser in me. I'm just like
I'm with you
there.
Well,
like especially with stuff like this, like how are you like with the table? Like I remember like what the fuck would that even cost? Like we have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
So like why
and then
would
I never did anything.
Why would I know?
That's what we were like, I don't care what we know whatever number you can give us.
If you threw me a price, why would I be like, why don't you bring it down?
You'd hope.
Some people, and people aren't like,
never yet.
But it's just me and my brain being like, what if someone is like?
Luckily, when you're a smaller business, I would think it's not like when you go into like a large business and an asshole is like, "Sir, we can't do that." Well, fuck you. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I can't do that because I'm working here, you asshole.
And also I'm super understanding, like,
of course,
of people being like, "Hey, that's out of my price range. I can't do it." I'm like, of course, I'm not upset at all. Thank you for even inquiring and wanting something. I'm sorry that shit's so pricey.
And that's
and like
no one ever wants to waste anyone's time too. That's it, you feel bad. So
I truly just value someone even thinking of me. Like
it's
and never get upset if it's out of someone's price range. Like it's not a need. It's not a necessity. It's something that you want and a splurge or whatever. Like
I have a question. And this is for personal reasons.
Okay.
Do you work with glass? Not blowing glass, but like would you put glass in something that you're working with?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you going to elaborate on that further?
I thought, that is business related still, but I get what you mean by personal.
It's for personal reasons.
Okay.
You'll know in time.
Is it for some of the things that you said you were playing around with in your brain? Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get a project overview. I actually want to do something like similar to what Gooch did with like the maps with my Red Dead map.
All right.
Well,
stealing my thunder.
I already told you I wanted to do that.
I know.
I've been trying to get something to do with that.
I've
been trying to get something to do with that forever, but I just haven't had the chance.
We'll just make it cooler.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sounds good. I like it. Yeah.
I was thinking of doing like a double-sided frame.
Yeah, I just want something pretty. I love the like live wood you have on his Skyrim map. That one's my favorite one. It's so cool.
When people come down here, they do stop and look at this.
They're really cool.
And I'm like, most people know what they are, but I think they're just kind of like.
It's a really good spot.
I love maps in general too are always cool. Like I feel
that's what I was telling you. I'm like, I have so many cool maps that are like, there's one fucking up there right now, and it's cloth. It's like that is so cool.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if you don't know what game it's from or whatever.
No, maps are very interesting.
Yeah, they're cool.
I was staring at them when I was putting them together. I just kept
the first thing when you came down, you're like, oh.
Have you ever like aged something like paper like that or anything like that, or like done anything in that realm?
I've I made invitations one time, and I like soaked them in tea and then, burnt the edges and stuff like that. I'm just like,
because I was thinking about I was trying to tatter up my map a little. I don't know. Either way, I'm thinking
light them.
Mine were really.
Mine are already, it's funny, mine's been folded up for so long now, it already kind of has some tattered on it.
The Oblivion map, I'm like, this thing is worn just from me folding like the creases and stuff. And I was
the creases were perfect.
I was afraid. I'm like, I hope this doesn't like make it harder to like mount this, because it's like, especially that Skyrim on that papyrus shit, whatever it's on,
so
it's
thick. I was so nervous doing it. I was like, oh my god, but I get myself nervous about it.
I remember when I came to it, I'm like, how did you get this thing as flat as it is? And I think you were like, I just put shit on it.
Yeah, well, remember we were like, when we were doing it, we were just thinking so complexly about. Right. And then one night, I just like woke up or was laying in bed or something. And I was like, Gooch, are you kidding me? Why did we go all this roundabout way to just be like, this is what we're gonna do? Because we're like, how are we gonna code it? Like, I don't know. And I was like, duh. Like, the answer was right in front of me the whole entire time, and I was just like thinking way too in depth about it.
Oh, it's good stuff. All right, guys. Well, I think that does it for us today. Emma, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. This is so fun.
It's been great.
And as always, Emma's information is in the description, because it's always there for the table.
For sure. We'll throw Greta Van Sweet down there, too, as well. And as well as for sure.
Lewinogs,
this has been a lot of fun.
For sure. This has been great. The only regret is that I didn't bring Greta over today.
It's okay. Well, there'll be another time. I'm excited. I can't
Here
wait
she
to
is!
See it.
Oh my god. No, seriously.
Well, awesome. I was going to say thank you all for watching with us live, but we did not record this one live.
Well,
but you can.
Real quick, do you want to say your stuff? I know it's in the description.
Yeah, that's true. I know, like, what's your...
I don't
this is the thing
where can people find you?
Yeah, where can people find you? That
kind of thing. I don't even know. On Instagram.
On Instagram, House of Me, right?
It's at Home with Elm on Instagram. Because of the whole fiasco. We're not going to get into it. No. At Home with Elm on Instagram, and it's my website, at homewithelm.com. And then I think my TikTok is House of Me.
Awesome.
If you want to look at my stupid videos
those
of me
links will be
with weird outfits.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be linked down below.
Thank you for even having me and chatting.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
Like I told you, this was like me and Trio. Once we got the table, I'm like, we need to get Emma on the podcast. But I'm like, how will we do that? And then I think we found a way to do it that I think
the math
makes it worth it for you. It's watch a movie and come on our podcast. But like, no, I'm like, I like how we're doing this little like.
By the way, there's also always an open invitation if you do see something. Like, I'd love to go on and talk about that. Please do reach out.
I will.
If you ever be like, I just saw Barbie.
Jack would also. He has hot takes on it.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
No, but you guys doing this and wanting to like highlight other local people is really, really cool. It's
a cool way to connect. And I know like we went to high school together, so it's not like some people. I'm trying to think of any local people we totally have no sort of like inner or existing like connections with.
Remember when the Satanic Church of Delco reached out to us?
I do.
We didn't. We pointed them to a different podcast. We didn't feel like ours was the venue, but they were actually very nice people.
Yeah, literally. I'm not. We are not kidding. The Satanic Church of Delco.
Crazy. I didn't even know that existed.
And we were just like.
I don't mean to laugh. It was just funny. I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, you were like, I didn't expect it.
Don't curse me. No, I'm kidding. No. But
I forgot about that.
We pointed them to one of our other friends who had a podcast at the time. They did one with them. It was actually very interesting.
Cool. I'll have to check it out. Let me know.
For sure.
I'm intrigued.
Awesome. I think that covers everything.
That does it.
Well, thank you all so much for watching with us. You can usually check these out live on twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network. We also are found anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We're on all your social media pages as well. At Delco Nerds and everything. We got a Facebook page. We have a Discord channel. That'll all be linked down below. You can email us all your comments, questions, or concerns. DelcoNerds@gmail.com. We'd be happy to get back to you. And you can find all this information on our website, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. For Gooch, for Emma, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.